well, so maybe give it just a little time to group some people.
No, it started. We're in. We're here. Sunset City's starting. Welcome everyone.
Intro? Did you do the intro?
No, we're not doing it.
We're not doing animation?
No.
We're not doing the animation thing?
No intros, only men.
So dead.
All right, well, there goes the
fine.
intro.
We're gonna,
Yep,
you know,
do
we're
it,
gonna
do it.
talk
No,
through
just-
it. It's playing right now. We're talking through all of it.
Fine.
Just
Yeah,
we're doing.
do it.
I look plump.
That's fine, I didn't make the music, so yeah. Hey, guess what?
No one's playing the music.
It would be playing the music, you just won't be able to hear it because you're the live host.
It's fine. Look, hey,
Otherwise,
welcome everyone
you'd get it through your desktop.
to
Okay.
Sunset City. I'm gonna do the. They didn't even hear my initial one. I was so proud of myself, but we're gonna do it again, guys. I'm Nick, and with me we also have Cirrus. How you doing, Cirrus?
Hi, Nick. This is the first time I actually did speak this time.
Yeah, it is. Wayne,
It's wonderful.
Yeah, hi, what's up?
how you doing?
I'm doing all right. I got coffee.
Gilly, how you doing, buddy?
It's raining and my power went out.
That's pretty cool. Pup.
What?
Yeah. Guys, we're doing the spoiler cast for Sonic Frontiers finally.
Do we not have something to announce at the very least anyways?
No.
Yeah, Matt and Trey bought Casa Bonita.
That was really, I was not expecting that when you texted me yesterday.
You're gonna love it.
I was just like, Casa Bonita, what about Casa? Just like, I did remember the news that it was closed down, but South Park saved it. I thought it was a fake place up until
No,
I was told otherwise.
I knew it was real for years. Like that episode was built based on a real place because it was in Colorado or whatever. But I didn't know it was still open, nor did I know it closed.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's how you do.
Guys, we noticing people are just showing up in the chat right now. We're still gonna have people yelling at us about spoilers. You know we will. But just as a heads up, we will be talking spoilers. So obviously spoilers. If you haven't played the game yet, just come visit us another day. But we've been
Is
waiting.
the live titled the Spoilercast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you'd have to be pretty dense to come to a thing called the Spoilercast and then complain about spoilers.
How long have you been hosting stuff on YouTube? You know how this goes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if they're
I
complaining
did-
about it now, they're just dense. That's just
Actually,
no two ways about it.
I did want to mention something very important. We actually got tagged by Way Past Yule Kid. There's an open storefront with some Klonoa merch, including the Klonoa hat and some plushies and some charms.
Oh, cool. Is it on like 95% clearance? Because nobody.
Gonna hurt me like that right now, Gilly? This early in the morning?
At 2, Gilly?
I gotta say, I am also not impressed by your behavior, Gilly. Drown you.
I feel like this is gonna have to be the first Sunset City meeting about Gilly.
I'm gonna drown you in the harbor next to the gate.
What do you mean the first one
Are you
about
not-
Gilly?
Have you not heard just how Gilly's sense of humor is like, you're just gonna yell at Pup, Klonoa's dead!
Did you?
Yeah, but were you not also there for the meetings about whether or not Gilly should be a member of the show?
No, we were
Good thing
talking
I'm
No,
about
I was
you
there
the
for
whole
none
time.
of those.
Yeah, he's always been.
Oh,
Nick,
speaking-
Nick, did you see Anthony's video? His Klonoa joke in there?
Which was Frontiers video?
Yeah.
I've been trying to hold off on any Frontier videos until I'm done with this
I
horribly
saw-
long
I
one.
saw-
If you
Yeah,
like
but-
my joke just now, you should watch his video.
All right. Okay.
I did. Also, we do have one other big update to share today.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So, you
What
want
is
me
it
to do
then?
it?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
All
do it.
right, all right. So, fans have been talking about this. The people in the community have mentioned that we've had one person in particular as a guest on this show many a time, and we thought it was finally time to just touch base with him and make him an official part of the cast. Everybody, welcome, Channel Pup.
Yeah.
It's finally
Everybody.
time for you to be part of the show, man.
There are
Attaboy.
finally 4
Against
key
all
members.
of my protestations, we
Absolutely.
now have our 3rd key member.
Finally, finally, all 3 of them. Finally, have 3 of them.
This feels much more like This feels much more like a bully circle than it did at rehearsal, and I got to admit, I'm not very happy about it.
It's because I did the announcement this time.
Look, you're gonna develop a fetish from it. It's gonna be okay. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm
probably
just
would,
casting couch
actually.
kind of stuff. You know how it is.
Well, before we get into the spoilers itself, I think the only bit of news I can think of specifically Sonic related is now you can play the game with a little Santa hat and jacket on, which is pretty cute.
And he can what on him?
I wasn't gonna say it, and I was trying to hold back.
Well, as you can
Leave it to
tell,
Wayne.
this is
Wild
obviously a reference to Santa Claus from the Christmas Blast. And Gilly, what are you eating there, buddy?
What is going
This
on?
is obvious.
What
This
you
is
got there?
What?
obviously a reference
What you got
to.
there, buddy?
What do I got? Where?
Yeah, what you got there? Hey, rustling. What you got?
Oh, it's G Fuel.
Oh yeah, you're gonna share it.
This stream has been sponsored by G Fuel.
Oh, don't do that. Come on, man. Come on.
It's time they know.
No, if it
Come
was
on.
Sonic related in G Fuel, there have to be a bunch of content creators nobody knows outside of Gerard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still remember
All right,
that.
well-
That's so irritating. I didn't know anybody that they were showing with the Sonic G Fuel thing. You guys remember that?
Did Fidel get? Was Fidel a part of that?
And this was before I think he blew up. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say if anybody should be a part of that.
I'm
Good for
pretty
Fatal.
for not being part of G Fuel.
I don't know. I don't even know.
I don't know if G Fuel can technically sponsor me because I'm sponsored by a different energy drink company.
Probably
Yeah,
not.
just
about-
take that opportunity
what
to
about
flex
Gamer?
that other energy drink company in there. Oh, look at me. I'm getting sponsored.
You know, I was gonna say, listen, you could have G Fuel where you can get a Sonic like energy drink can, or you could get Gamer Stups where you get your cups like with anime girls on it, which should sound more tempting, but I automatically know Sonic's gonna win that race.
There is this there's this one energy drink company that's been talking to me. That might be the one. I don't remember, but they had just like one of the flavors was like titty milk, something like that.
Titty milk.
Here's
Milk! They're finally milk flavored G Fuel.
Can you imagine if I got a Sonic milk?
I want this now.
Here's my take on these different energy drinks. I'm not gonna say anything bad about anybody because I'll sell out to whoever emails me first.
Yep. They'll definitely go back and check Sunset City stuff. They definitely check every single time I upload the same commercial over and over again. It's fine.
Yep.
It's kind of I don't know, Gilly. I'm not sure if you're much of an anime guy. The Chainsaw Man series.
I like some anime. I haven't seen it. I've been watching the new the Shark.
Bleach?
But they're yeah.
All anime's bad.
Oh,
Oh man.
Anyways,
anime.
so we're going over the timer, so we got to keep to the schedule, all right? So we're moving on to the main meat discussion, the Sonic Frontiers
Ooh, the
Spoilercast. So, yeah. So, for 5 minutes, shall we just get our recaps of our overall general opinions of the game going round the table? Who sits
I
at
can't
the end
believe
now?
I can't believe they killed Sonic.
No. All right, Gilly, I need to tell you about this thing, right?
You know what?
when
Actually, though,
Wait.
Gilly, I
kinda
can't believe
did
they
briefly.
did that bullshit again. That's what I can't believe. That they did
No,
that
this just
same
reminds
bullshit
me.
3 times over in this series.
This reminds me, though, of when I was at Nick's and I bought my PS5 and I was showing him
Were you
Ratchet
shitting?
and Clank. Yes, I was. I was showing him Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and I was like, "Yeah, I can't believe Clank dies at the end of this one." And he's like, "Does he?" And I was like, "I'll never tell." And it became this long running thing of he doesn't know whether or not Clank dies at the end.
You told
He
me
doesn't
later that
know.
night that he doesn't.
Yeah, but maybe I was
what
lying.
you told me later that night was like, "Oh, I haven't finished it." That's what you told me later.
Yeah, and then after I finished it, I was like, "Yeah, I can't believe Clank died."
You're such a piece of shit. I still haven't beaten that.
Oh,
game.
anyways.
It's a good game.
Yeah, how can you beat it? You haven't got a PS5.
yeah. And nobody.
I still haven't beaten that game. When are you supposed to get back into it? What, you want me to hop a plane over again?
Are they? Dude, just fucking live stream it or some shit. Stupid.
What? Shut up.
I don't own a PS5.
That would require
Nick,
brain.
you don't have a PS5?
I don't.
Imagine
Buy
not
one-
having a
Imagine not having a
PS5.
PS5.
Buy
just
one
go
and then
buy one.
write it off.
I mean, yeah, that I will do that eventually. I don't want a PS5 right now. There's not shit
What
on there
was that?
I can justify paying for that for.
I think it was
Almost-
Walmart.
But then you'll be Nick. Then you'll be
Hold
just
on.
like me, and you'll be able to have it and not turn it on.
What my game plan is, what I'm hoping is going to happen is that they're going to release like a Spider-Man 2 Special Edition console. I'm hoping anyway. And if that's the case, I'm going to get myself a Venom-ass PS5. I'm going to fucking love it.
Well, here's the thing
don't-
with that. You
We've
just
been
need the
over
plates.
this though. Yeah, we've been like you can get custom plates and just stick the plates on the side.
I get that, but I also like official stupid
I don't
merch.
think they're
Yeah,
gonna
but the
do
whole-
it though because of the plates.
Yeah,
They
might
just need to
go-
release official plates. It's not
Yeah,
that
But
hard.
that's the thing is, don't stop yourself from buying the PS5 because you're waiting
Yeah.
for the plates. That's
He
like
doesn't even want the
stopping yourself
PS5
from-
I don't
right now. I
fucking
think
want
that's
the
the thing.
PS5
It's
right
like
now.
stopping yourself
just
from
want
buying a
Spider-Man!
chicken because you haven't got the knife and
Give me more
fork yet.
games
You know?
of
Like,
Spider-Man.
so, anyways, boys, round table discussion. Okay. All right, for 5 minutes. Let's
All
just
right,
recap
yeah, all right,
our
okay,
overall.
all right,
okay,
okay,
yeah,
all right.
yeah.
I thought the game's
Stop.
fine.
Okay. Game
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, game good. Game great even. Game in top 3.
No.
In opinion.
No. Game,
Not
game
it
in
might
top
be in-
3 Sonic games.
It might be in
maybe.
my top 3.
Well, yeah.
It's not in the objective.
I'd say,
Or-
it's in my top 10 of games so far. I still need to like let it fester for a while longer.
It's in my top 3 Sonic games for definite.
I think we're on our way to my favorite 3D Sonic game from this one though.
Yeah.
Oh, the
I think
best
I'm-
is absolutely yet to come.
I think I'm still like Sonic 2, Sonic Adventure 2, and then I think Frontiers is third. And I think that's only because I have been playing Sonic Adventure 2 since I was a kid.
That's fair. Like my top 3 is Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Unleashed, and Sonic Frontiers, and the 3 of them just kind of alternate on which one's the best.
I don't think I can ever like fairly objectively give one because like I'm pretty sure in my top 5 Sonic R is just going to be there just because, and I know better, but I still love
I don't
it.
even rank Sonic games from like that. I kind of need to separate them between like 2D and 3D.
It just kind of depends on what
So,
you're in
like-
the mood for. They got a good variety there for you.
But for 3D stuff, it's definitely, I don't know, in my opinion, it's the best one. It needs to, the idea needs to be fleshed out more, but in terms of just like being a fun game that's like straightforward and not with a bunch of bullshit I don't want to do.
Yeah.
It's weird, right? Because it kind of is the best in concept, not so much in execution, but I think it has the best foundation out of any of them.
Oh, it certainly has a really good foundation. My problem though is that I've been here once before with this is the foundation for something amazing. Because like with Unleashed, we had the daytime levels. And they were really good. It was okay if only we get a game with just these, and then we did, and it was colors.
Yeah, Generations was peak of the boost style stuff as far as I'm concerned. So like I don't know if we're on our way to Generations or what. Like that I mean like I'm never really surprised in terms of the type of game they're going to make because they've been sticking so hard to boost in variations of boost since 2008. So obviously that's what we're going to get going forward. But in terms of quality, it's always just kind of a crapshoot. But I really am thinking Sega is going to look at the numbers from these sales and just the general. I can't keep saying, and I know people are going to get mad at me when I kind of delve into it in my own video. I feel the DLC is just the rest of the game that the dev team couldn't get to before they had to ship it out. But like, if they keep on track in terms of like, hey, we're going to keep putting money towards Sonic like we fucking should, and we're going to put good faith into just this project itself. We believe in this project, and we're going to let our player base play it for free, all these updates. I think we got a good future ahead of us. Like, I think this is a solid foundation. I really do. I got a lot of problems with it, but I'm pretty positive overall.
There's a lot of things that have happened since that are worth getting kind of excited about as well, depending on things. Because we've seen like job listings for asset development and other things that suggest that Sega are expanding the Sonic team a bit. the other possibility is that the other guys all just left and they're trying to refill their roles. But like, you know,
it is interesting because I mean the obvious joke that I think I saw a lot of people making was especially with like added characters being able to be played was it's Sonic Frontiers and Knuckles.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah. It really does kind of feel like that though, where it is like this is kind of like what they wanted to do with the rest of it. Before, you know, time, money, you know, outside circumstances. We're not behind the scenes. It's probably going to be a while before we know exactly everything that went down during the development of this title. I look forward to the day where we just get that story.
I think it's going to be years before we get that story.
I don't think it's going to be that long.
You know?
I mean, the other thing I'm thinking is it's not going to be a year before. Well, anyways, the main kind of thing that I'm wondering is that DLC going to bring us a new island? Because if it does, then I would give credence to this is what we wanted to add to the game, but couldn't. If it's not a new island, then I don't think so. I think it's just
I don't think that it will give us a new island.
I disagree.
I completely disagree with that. I
feel like this game was developed with 3 islands.
Yeah, no, I feel like if there was a brand new island, that's paid DLC. Like that would be shit you make after you're done with the rest of the game. That's the kind of thing
I would think so, but I don't know. Like I can't really say for sure, but I think they wanted to have another island.
I don't necessarily. I think they just wanted to do more with the islands they have. Like you've seen like just all the You've seen Island 4, right? There is so much on that they wanted to do stuff with. I don't think we'll be getting another island. I just think that we're actually going to be able to do what they intended for us to be able to do with the islands that are already there.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah.
I mean, it's all maybe. Like, we can only guess at this point. But yeah, I mean, like, I've talked with you guys about it. Like, I just kind of hopped off the towers over on Rhea Island and just walked over to like, hey, there's a whole other section of the island here. Let's go down to it. Invisible wall. Just look over the cliff. This is Kronos Island. Like, it's not even disconnected. It's Kronos Island. It's the exact same thing.
In fact, I've got a video coming up tonight on Sonic Frontiers mods where I play one which is a supersonic mod which allows to fly, and I flew over the boundary from one of the big towers, and I was able to just explore Kronos Island from Rhea Island.
Oh,
and it's like
I didn't know you were joining Boundary Break.
Shut up! It's literally the Enough with your references. I don't get. It's literally just flying over the boundary.
Boundary Break. What?
I don't.
He's from the UK.
Yeah.
You should check out Boundary Break. I think you would enjoy it. It's a YouTube.
It's
channel.
like a YouTuber. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll send it to you later. Continue.
I mean, listen, like, you know, I only really follow like a handful of like gaming YouTubers, but like
he basically takes the camera anywhere we want.
Yeah. I get it though. We all have circles. There's plenty of famous YouTubers that I am not familiar with.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Connor.
He's like, what the fuck is an Arlo?
I thought that was Cookie Monster.
At the end of the day, I didn't know who Arlo was until the controversy with Sonic Movie 2.
Nobody knew me until I put on the Muppet.
Arlo is lovely. It's just like...
Oh, yeah, no, it's fine. Like, I saw his response video as well, and I was like, yeah, that makes you think a lot, doesn't it?
You literally met him.
It really makes you think about this.
I know I've met Arlo. I don't need you to tell me. What am I saying that's contradicting that I've met Arlo?
You guys met Arlo?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, we met Arlo. We met Arlo at what's it called? The Retro Gaming.
Come to Portland, you dork.
Oh God, I want to meet Arlo. God damn it.
Oh yeah, he's super chill.
Yeah, I bet.
But what was I saying?
But you were talking about the supersonic mod where you could actually you were going.
Yeah, you can literally go. Yeah, you can go to Kronos. It's fully interactable. You don't just fall through the floor or anything. You can still go on the little upside down pyramid thingy, and a lot of it is still functional, but they've just removed things like dash pads, rails, and other bits.
Oh, interesting. So it's a completely separate instance of the island.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It still has to load it up though, weirdly.
Well, I mean, that's a lot of polygons there. It's gonna have to load that shit up.
Yeah,
No, I find it.
definitely.
What I mean is, I find it weird that they didn't like, I don't know, slice it off. You know,
Yeah,
like
I agree.
so you don't have to load that, but also
Yeah.
like just so you can actually pretend that it is a separate island. And like, you know, I don't mind, like there are like islands where like the top half has like a different name to the bottom. Like for example, Ireland. The top half is called Northern Ireland. The lower half is called South Ireland. Is it? No, I think it's just called Ireland.
If it was
but-
called South
Republic of
Island, that would bring about some implications, wouldn't it?
Oh, that would be something. Yeah, no, but like, yeah, Ireland is it's a country, all right, or an island. I don't know. Anyways, we should probably talk about the story then, shouldn't we?
Probably.
Nah.
That's maybe a bit important.
All right. So the story.
This is the story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world.
And then she got and then she wondered why she cried, and now she knows, and now she's in a family born of love.
Guys, Cream would think this is hilarious.
Oh my god.
I don't
What?
get it.
Well, you're just talking about all the references in Sonic Frontier.
Hey Lois, remember the time we were on the space colony arc?
I'm gonna be honest. So like the remember the time jokes, I do think they're funny, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say like I didn't really notice them all that much while playing through the game.
Oh, I noticed.
I
them.
did.
I did, but I didn't
definitely-
like.
It wasn't
didn't
until
hate it.
people started. It wasn't until people started memeing on it on fucking Twitter that like I actually started to be like, okay, maybe there's a lot. And then like as I was watching the game get played through again, I'm just like, no, there's really not that much of this.
I noticed them while I was playing, but there was only one of them that just kind of felt a little shoehorned. Actually, there were two in particular that felt a little shoehorned in. One was him talking about the Mystic Ruins with the waterfalls, which even me being such a
It's
SA1
water, dude.
shill, yeah, even me being an SA1 shill, like that felt a little off. But the second one was them talking about like, oh wow, like that laser packed as much power as Dark Gaia easily.
Yeah.
No, but you
I was
guys
like,
are
that
just-
wasn't natural dialogue.
But you're
It's
just,
just- it all-
talking about the actual stuff that you're forced to listen to. If you stand around, there's so
Yeah.
much more. Like when he's in the desert, he's like,
But you're
"Ooh,
not
this
supposed to hear
reminds
all of
me. This reminds me of the curry in Shamar. I'll have to go back one day."
It's just
like-
it seemed like forced a little bit. Like I didn't like care. It's not like I'm like this sucks, but
Yeah.
it just seems like they did a lot of adding those lines in a forced way to be like, hey guys, these are the things that are canon. Just
These
so
are
you know,
the
this
things
is-
you thought we forgot.
Yeah.
But I mean, like,
it would be so cool if there were super emeralds. Too bad there aren't.
Well,
It's almost
here's-
like this was the perfect fucking game to do that shit, and I'm
Here's-
still upset about
Here's
it.
the thing. Here's what I keep thinking about. I think we are not done with that particular idea. I think, hopefully, unless they really did just like, oh no, like you're supposed to just imply everything from the rest of these guys going off to the Master Emerald. Like, you can't just leave it at like, oh, Master Emerald was already on Earth. And the Chaos Emeralds are from space. Like, you need to do more than that. Like, everything I'm
And they
seeing is
just,
like leading to like we're going to Angel Island. Like, there's nothing like my brain's like, and it's dead set on bias for this, right? But like we're going to fucking Angel Island. We're going to the open world Angel
no,
Island.
that's gonna have
gonna
the.
happen.
It's literally gonna be in the next game. They'll be like, legend foretold that if you bought the Chaos Emeralds to the Master Emerald, they come together. They'll just have a good time, and nothing else happens, and it's a lot of fun.
We need to find the Black Star Chaos Emeralds.
I think just more in line with
Sonic the Hedgehog
Just
Grand
hit
Tour,
that.
Grand Tour.
Take it to the Grand Tour.
and you have to play classic Sonic the whole time.
Yep.
It would just be so funny to see them go to
Hedgehog,
like
we're just a child.
to just bury this piece of continuity. Just have him be like, nothing's more powerful than Supersonic, and he just looks into the game like nothing.
Well,
No, god damn it.
I mean, like, I want to get back into, like, the Chaos Emerald and shit. I think that's going to be important. It's going to be a hefty part of the conversation. But just in terms of the references,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm of two minds of it. I like that they're saying, like, they're obviously saying, like, all this stuff matters. I guess my issue is, like, how it's presented is an issue. and I think it's pretty telltale. Like the problem's going to be budget more than anything else. Like
I wonder if cream and sticks from Sonic Boom are free.
Like the way you want to surprise a fan about Tangle and Sticks is show us Tangle and Sticks. I mean, yeah, we're still going to be happy to see them eventually in the future, but like it's more than it needs to be more than a name drop. And I also feel like they could have been a little bit more subtle with some of the things they were doing, and maybe that's just part of my job. Well, I mean, like, there's the acorn, right? And then there's
that reminds me of my ex-girlfriend. Too bad she's dead.
But, like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, Freedom Fighter fans are so desperate. Like, that's such a vague thing that even they were like, we'll take it. That's the
the thing is, like, when you're going through the Egg memos as well, there's a point where Eggman starts talking about Maria, and he's like, she was apparently pretty special, and I was just laughing my ass off on the plane, because I was just like, she's dead.
Oh. I do kind of, like, I know we joke about it a lot, I do kind of hope that if we ever go back down that route again, and we start talking about like Gerald Robotnik and Maria Robotnik, I still think that there's some fascinating story to tell there about his research on the Chaos Emeralds and stuff like that. I think Kevin from Golden Bolt like really hit it on the head. While I was replaying Sonic Adventure 2 last night, like the Dreamcast port, like after playing Frontiers, it started making me question so many other things about the implications there. Where it's like, yeah, having the Space Colony arc in space, you know, and now we know that the Chaos Emeralds are from another world and everything kind of has like almost a different implication to it now. The Master Emerald having control over the Chaos Emeralds, even though they originate from two different places as far as we know, you know, stuff like that. But I also really hope at some point we can explore more with Maria Robotnik, where there's more to say about her than just the joke that she got capped.
No, but seriously,
We'll
you seen that new
Spider
Pokemon?
Maria.
all need to be in the same place when Sonic 3 comes out, so we can cheer in the cinema together when she gets capped.
God damn it.
You guys saw that new Pokemon?
What new Pokemon?
Capsicid?
Oh
Is that
God, we're gonna have so much fun when that movie comes out. But yeah,
Alright.
I couldn't believe it.
Is that a real Pokemon name?
Yeah, it's in the new one, Capsicid. And it's spelled exactly like that. It's Caps a Kid.
Man, I haven't even touched the new Pokemon games, but now I'm curious.
got some Sunset City fans over at Game Freak, so I'm here.
Something I did want to note is,
Wayne.
so I think it is worth getting kind of back on track, is that I think that shut up, Gilly. I think that stop snickering. I think that Ian. All right, I can just sit here and wait for you to stop snickering, man.
Yeah, maybe if you just shut the fuck up for once.
Oh, damn.
Jesus Christ.
Ow. Okay.
Two
Anyways.
meetings about Gilly.
Ian Flynn, all right, I get the jokes. I find them all very, very funny. Like the jokes about like Sonic Adventure where he just sees Tails, he's like, oh, Tails. And it just cuts to like Sonic 2. Is really funny. But I do want to make a point clear, all right? While I'm laughing, all right, if you send me back to Pontac and Graf, I will end you, Sega. Like, if you take this as the people don't like Ian Flynn, so we're going back to Pontac.
The problem is that
you.
people can't just fucking see that and then go, haha, that's funny, and we laugh about it. And be like, yeah, it is a little on the nose. Instead, they're like, no, this is a commentary on the state of Sonic the Hedgehog storytelling. And just shut up.
Well, that's the thing is people are trying to turn, I guess, people don't want your opinion on the game anymore. They want to know what agenda you support at this point for the franchise. So if you are criticizing any part of the new writing, it means you want Pontac back and are trying to push it in that direction. Everything you say is going to push the franchise in a new direction, and that's really not the case. You know, there's definitely things to be critiqued in the writing. To be honest, more egregious than the flashbacks for me is, I think, how vague some of the explanations for things were. I still don't know entirely how the Titans work, and I've played the game 4 times now. I don't quite get it because it's like, okay, they're piloted by the ancients. Is Sonic committing murder here? And who's he talking to when he's flying into space with Sage and the Supreme? And he's like, he took your world, he took your lives.
I think-
he's gonna do it again.
So-
And he's talking directly to the ancients, but it's like, is Sage not piloting that? And like, how does that work?
So I still think that he actually is speaking directly to the ancients. I think honestly the Coco and the spirits of the ancients are some of the most fascinating shit in this game. And I've gone on my little like theoretical tirades with Nick in our chats and stuff before, but I think that the Coco themselves are basically just the catalysts of like their consciousness, of their spirits. But like their selves were split between the what's it called? Like, you know, the digital
The
one.
Digidestin and the regular world, yeah.
Yeah. And the Digidestin. And I think like by bringing both aspects of themselves into like one overlapping place is what helps them go to rest. I think that the spirits of the ancients themselves that used to pilot the Titans, because we kind of saw like in the flashback, the End takes over the Supreme Titan and corrupts it. I think that's essentially what happened to the other ones, and they're just corrupted versions, and they just can't control themselves. Whereas the Coco are just sort of like the spirits left to wander, because that's all that those little charms really give them the ability to do. I think that the Titans are kind of like just a larger version of the Coco, and all they have is power and rage to work with, because, you know, everything that they knew was destroyed. So
I just wish they were kind of clearer about that, though. You know, like.
Well, see, I almost don't want it to be spelled out too much. There's things I wish there were clear explanations on, but something like that, I'm just kind of like, I would prefer to be able to think about it a little bit more and chew on it. I think there's enough information for us to go off of there.
So, in terms of like the Titans, what I took away from it, I mean, the Cocos are endlessly fascinating to me. I've got like a huge fucking section of my script just about them. I think it's. I don't know, like, the Cocos were really hard for me to wrap my head around. I think it's just because it's more of an Eastern spirituality kind of a mindset, which I'm not super familiar with. I'm not going to pretend to be, but just, like, in terms of, like, real world comparisons, they're very similar to, like, funeral dolls that were buried in just across different cultures. And they might carry an essence of their original owner, so they're kind of like a ghost, but not really. So I think you're right, Wayne, in terms of like just like kind of fulfilling that whole like letting the rest of the spirit rest in peace. As far as the Titans are concerned, what I assumed they were was Eggman re-awoke a bunch of the technology. They're just walking pieces of tech, and Sage, I mean, openly says at the beginning of the game, like, she can just kind of direct them towards Sonic, or direct her rage towards Sonic. There could be a spiritual element to it that they're vague about, but I just took it to mean, like, it's just tech that she's kind of controlling, because they say clearly in one of the cutscenes later on that whoever was manning one of those, or I think 3 of those machines died in there, didn't they?
And if those ancients died in the machines, that's a lot of typing I'm hearing.
Sorry.
But we know also that since the Coco were Lucky Charms for the ancients, and we know that the ancients took those Lucky Charms with them into battle, if an ancient died in a tech, their Coco or in a mech, their Coco would still be in that mech.
You know what would stick? So you know there's the theory that Chaos is just corrupted Shao, effectively. Well, what if the Titans are corrupted Coco?
I mean, how could the Titans be corrupted Coco when the Titans were built before?
Well, the Titans are piloted by a corrupted.
Okay, that's
Coco.
Different.
Well, that's kind of what I was talking about. That's sort of exactly what I said.
Yeah, that's why I was saying like that. That's why I was literally saying that all makes sense, because we know the pilots died with their Coco in them.
Before you take it personally, you know my situation, right?
Oh, fair. But yeah, no, that's kind of the note I was hitting on. That's kind of what I took away from them. I just I think my thing again, there's stuff I don't want more explanation on. That's kind of one of them. I kind of like the little air of mystique that the Coco situation has. Because it kind of lets you do some active storytelling like in your head just based off of the clues that they give you. Versus stuff like Sage's relationship with Eggman, where I feel like we were supposed to get more out of
100%.
that than because like don't get me wrong, I still felt something at the end with that. I still really like Sage, but I felt like I was supposed to connect with that relationship more than I did. And I think that the major flaw of that is really apparent when she's having her little sequence where she starts crying listening to Sonic and Tails.
It's so fucking funny.
I was sitting there like
shit.
That moment gave me that moment made me cry on stream, and then I just got pulled out of it.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
like,
it was the stupidest shit. I thought it was dumb as fuck.
I was with
because you don't have a fucking heart, but that's fine.
I was with it when she was like when she was sitting there listening.
Apparently.
Yeah, I know, right?
I was with it when she was sitting there listening to Sonic and Tails talk, because she was processing a genuine connection and friendship and love essentially, and I was with it there. And when she started crying, I felt something, and then they got into the weird ass fucking like music track that they went with for that, and then they tried to do flashbacks of her relationship with Eggman. It's just them like talking in cyberspace. And that was the part where it lost me, and I was just like, "What the? You guys did not do a good enough job." Like,
was shit. Like this. I mean, this is I'm 100% on board with what you're talking about. I think you're talking about like what we can pick apart in terms of lore versus what the story is doing in terms of character building. Like those are two entirely separate things. And like in terms of like trying to pick apart this ancient culture, like they should have done a better job, in my opinion, in terms of like trying to pick apart what's going on in terms of the environment. Like shit that like, I'm sorry, everyone's gonna get mad at me, but stuff that Zelda did pretty fucking good. The things that that From Software just does, like they just know how to do, period. I would have liked more of that, because like they're so strange about like what they spend their time just sitting around talking about, like getting into huge detail about little things and pieces in terms of like they literally even explained the HUD. Like the HUD is canon to what's happening in the fucking game. Like Sonic can see the map in his brain. But like, but then they just take like all this incredibly important shit in terms of like this relationship between Sage and Eggman, and they dump it in a pond. It's ridiculous.
It's also worth noting that is not how you do immersion. Like explaining why the HUD exists. That is a complete failure in like how to do immersion 101.
It can work. I've seen Metal Gear Solid do something similar, but it didn't have the same flavor here. I apologize if I'm taking up a lot of the air today, but
it's welcome.
Yesterday, I think the Sonic the Hedgehog like Twitter account uploaded a picture. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see it, but it was like it was like a cute little Christmas picture, and it was Eggman like working on his computer, and he was like coding her like little shoes as a Christmas present. Give me something like that to help connect me with the relationship.
I feel like if instead of getting the flashback sequence of cyberspace when that music started playing, we instead got a montage of Eggman creating Sage. Like if we got something like that,
yes,
that would have felt really, really good. The closest thing we have to that is the final moments of creating Sage in the IDW comics.
I mean, also, in like, I'm going to regurgitate something I said in my long review, but I basically, on the subject of the montage, I was initially happy when I saw it, because I was just happy to see the game doing some more cinematic coding convention kind of stuff in there, Like, it's been a very long time since a Sonic game has felt even remotely cinematic, so to see a montage in there was like, okay, that's cool. But something I said is, even if, they couldn't include things like Sage's creation and stuff because that's more animation time they got to spend. It's the Sonic team, and only 4 people worked on it. If they could,
Small indie company.
yeah, exactly. If they couldn't do that, what they could have done is shown like things like Dr. Eggman being kind of fatherly towards people like Gamma, Metal Sonic, stuff like that, but then juxtapose that with his more abusive side as well, and then follow that up with Sage, suggesting that Sage is aware of how Eggman views his creations.
Yeah.
And it's like more kind of the cyclical thing. I even did a little edit of it in the video, so anyone that's seen that will know what I'm talking about. But like, yeah, that's kind of a way I thought they could remedy it.
If there was any time to like flash back to a scene from, say, Sonic Adventure 1, it was that, with him like speaking to Gamma and Beta for the first time, and exactly how he viewed like his precious like advanced creations, and then like you said, juxtapose that with like how he treated Sage, where he was legitimately fascinated by her because he created her, but a lot about her she was developing in ways beyond how he designed, and that was something he admired more than just was proud of.
What's frustrating for me in terms of the themes of this story, there are heavy metatextual themes in terms of like, I think the state of, as Gilly eloquently put it, the state of Sonic storytelling and these characters, and I thought they were handled, I'd say character by character, more often than not pretty well. But in terms of like the importance of life, regardless of where it comes from, and artificial intelligence, like these are themes that Ian and a lot of Evan too have already been playing with for 5 years in over in IDW. So these are well worn. Like I know Ian has said like he didn't intentionally, start working on Sage while Evan was working on Bell. Like that was just a coincidence. But at the same time, like the way Sonic and Pals are written now, like IDW really is just like a extra bit of content that really kind of helps play into the themes of this game, that I do feel they fall a little short, but I don't think it's really the fault of the script writers. I feel like they were really trying to get to those points. It is one of those things, right? Like, it's like the references. Like, I'm more thankful for the things that are here than are not. Like, the egg memos, I really wish they were implemented better. Like, there's 100 different ways they could have done it better than what they did. But I still like that they are here. And I really, really hope that some of these updates here give us some, like, extra little bit of an ending. Because, like, if there's any place to really, like, hammer home what Sage means to Eggman, if you're gonna show, like, if you're not gonna show the creation of Sage at the beginning of the game because you're so focused on this fucking mystery, then show it at the very end when she's about to die. Show like this flashback to like her coming online and then Eggman being like, whoa, and then like them just meeting and right before her death. Like that would have been, there you go, they get the waterworks. Sonic fans would eat that up for ages. Just look at that. Just like, like
the other thing,
like the time they shot that girl.
And I think the DLC could address this because, as we know, we're getting new playable characters and stuff like that. Tails. Okay, so I think my favorite story stuff happens on Chaos Island and happens with Tails. I do like the fact that they have addressed that he's got kind of a self-esteem problem. Like, I'm completely fine with them adding that layer to his character. It takes something that is bad about previous storytelling, but it turns it into a new layer for the character that they can move forward with. And it's like, it's better than just saying it never happened, and it's better than just kind of ignoring it, I guess. In my opinion, anyway. My problem with it...
Oh, go on, sorry.
Sorry, my problem with it is Tails is all like, I want to do something heroic and stuff. He never does it, though. Like... Not in this story, anyway. They kind of set up that he might do it at a later date, but I feel like it would have been more satisfying if maybe during, like, I don't know, maybe during, like, the night boss fight or something, Tails is able to hack into, like, the cannons on the, Chaos Island and start shooting some lasers at it or something.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because he says, like, there's cannons and stuff around, and I'm a cyberspace thing. I can kind of go into these things. So the idea that
we know that like Knuckles interacts with Sage, so... Like, we know it's possible.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I was interested in the fact that they kind of set up, like, it was interesting for me setting up that each of these characters, like Knuckles, Tails, and and Amy all have moments where they're just like, "Hey, I might be going off on my own for a little bit, like doing my own thing, having my own adventure." And it was weird because I don't think a Sonic game has ever tried to establish, hey, these mainstay characters might be absent for a while, or if they'll even have the balls to do something like that.
I hope they'll go through with it. If we get the next game is just business as usual, I'll be pretty disappointed.
What was it?
Well, not like they've been very present in terms of gameplay, so it's fine.
You know, in terms of gameplay, but in terms of story, like, it still matters, you know? But, like, yeah, if it is just business as usual, Tails and everyone is along for the ride next time, it's gonna feel like a cop-out. I would say maybe forge a new cast for the next game and have the OGs come back at the end, maybe, you know? Like... So I would say, you know, ideal cast for, like, a Frontiers 2 would be, like, Shadow, Blaze, and Silver, you know?
Well, before we move on too far from it, just on Sage and everything, Gilly, you've been pretty quiet. Do you have any kind of thoughts in terms of, like, the characters and all this shit?
Knuckles and Sonic were should have made out.
They gave each other the eyes.
No, they are
were giving each other
bedroomized the
bedroom
entire
eyes.
time. Like, and there's that bit where he's even like, anything to get you away from me, and they stare at each other, they lock eyes. They have a close-up of both of their eyes. It's literally directed and edited the way you would set up a kiss.
If Knuckles' model was swapped out for Amy, everyone would be like, "Oh my God, there it is!"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly bet the scenes with
Suckles, yes, Suckles.
the Suckles.
I want to say.
Sorry,
So many people were like, it's Sonics. Why would you say Suckles? The only reason that it's Sonux, his name isn't Nux. That's a nickname. His name is Knuckles. The only reason that you're saying Sonux is because you went out of your way because you knew it was Suckles and you didn't want to name it Suckles. So you named it Sonux.
Wait, in Sonic Prime, there is a version of Knuckles named Nux.
Yeah,
So,
but there's nothing
actually-
going on, but there's no flame there.
The only reason
There's no flame there.
the only
They'll
reason
find their
it's,
flame.
the only reason it's Sonics is because you're fucking cowards.
Yeah.
The only
what
reason
it
it's
is.
Sonux is the same reason that Cucky isn't Cucky anymore.
I mean, Suckles, I'm sorry, but, like, it's not only... It sounds better, but it's also just... it's what they're going to be doing.
Hilarious. It's fucking
It's what they're
hilarious.
going to be doing. I mean, he's got, like, 3 of those things down there, so it's fine.
Sonic, and the game is Sonic and Knuckles. Sonic and Knuckles. Suckles. It's right there.
Suckles.
It's so easy.
I was playing a mod
Knuckles the
that
Edge.
I was playing a mod that puts Sonic in a little cowboy outfit with a cowboy hat and stuff. And when we get to any cutscene with Knuckles, I was just like, Brokeback Hill.
Bless their hearts.
I did. The Sonic and Knuckles scenes actually were like some of my favorite in the game, though.
Yeah. No, you
It's
guys
like
agree.
the best
Loves
they've
the
done
hell out of
Knuckles
that
in a-
character.
Yeah.
I really liked the I can't lose this right after the.
Oh, dude. Oh, my
Yeah.
heart.
Dude, okay, so you guys were in the car with me when I reached that scene. I think y'all heard me start tearing up at that because I was just like, oh shit. It was like that and the fucking salute that they gave the little soldier Coco.
Yep.
That shit broke me.
Fuck the Coco. Oh, my poor boy Knuckles. Oh, my sweet boy. Look, they're already dead. They're already dead. Fuck them. I don't care. I was just...
It does,
Knuckles. You can't lose
it
this.
does... It does still have one of the funnier instances, though, of the Ian Flynn meme syndrome, where it's just like, it flashes a shot of, like, Angel Island Act 1, and is like, this wall is just like that wall on the other place.
It's just like the ruins on the island. Which ones, bud?
And he says, I can't
this the
lose
place?
this. He says,
It
I can't. He says, I can't lose this directly after that same flashback again. It's like, I can't lose this like the time I chuckled at Sonic smacking emeralds out of him.
I made a joke about it in my Prime video, but I was just like, I mean, like they showed the fuck, wow, Hidden Palace in Sonic Prime, and I made a joke in the video. I was like, why didn't they just swap out these scenes? Like,
Yeah, because like, so imagine if that island had ruins similar to the ones that were on, that were in Hidden Palace. Now, on the one hand, I kind of like, again, with the Master Emeralds seeming to have different origins than the Chaos Emeralds, and we don't know how much of the like Angel Island architecture is really because of the ancients and stuff like that. I like to think that the echidnas definitely did have their own cultural impact on the way that that island is structured and the way that it's laid out, its architecture, all that. I kind of like I really do like Knuckles having that I can't lose this moment. But I'm gonna be honest. If that little flashback had not shown up there, I would never have thought, oh, those ruins look exactly like the pillars on the wall of Angel Island.
I thought
they look nothing alike.
I mean, I immediately made the connection when I saw that, because I was running around the island before that. But I was like, this clearly looks like the Master Emerald Shrine, and there even is a point. I don't know where it is. It's not even near that spot where I triggered it, where Sonic says, "Well, that really reminds me of like a broken Master Emerald," or some bullshit like that. I'm like, thanks, game. Just spell it out for me. Like, I mean,
Trump wants to build a wall? You mean like the one on Angel Island?
I mean, again,
they
like,
build walls there too.
Like, most everybody who's playing this game, though, especially with the sales as what it is, are not diehard Sonic fans. Most, like, there are people like us who overanalyze the games because some of us do it as a job, some of us do it as a hobby, some of us have unhealthy hyperfixations with blue rats, but not everybody who plays Sonic is so hyper focused on the lore that they're going to catch it that easily. I'm okay with that shit.
But what does that mean to them then?
What it feels like to me
why
is
even
it feels like Flynn was writing this script with a stuck-up university professor sat next to him like, did you remember to cite your resources? Yes, ma'am. Because I can vouch, that's literally what university's like. Like,
He
you
does
breathe,
like his
you gotta
references.
cite it.
He does love his
But
references, to be fair.
at the same time, while that's a criticism, it's nowhere near the level of the criticism I would level at, say, Pontaf. So, guys, before you go freaking out, I just want to make that point clear.
You're not allowed to have nuance. It's all or nothing.
You do not like
So-
this one thing Ian Flynn does, therefore you like Pontaf.
Something I wanted to point out, though, I do think that showing the screenshot, that specific one, was intentional. I think they probably, I'm sure the conversation was had like, should we show Hidden Palace? I think they intentionally did not show it. Either to be like, well, I don't want to bother fucking explain the Super Emeralds if they're never going to show up, or maybe they're saving that shit for later. I don't know, but I feel like they very intentionally just showed the opening screenshot of the game when I think they knew like we could have done a better job of presenting this.
I did want to ask you, Nick, because I feel like you're probably the person in this cast that feels as strongly about Three Knuckles as I do. I kind of felt like while seeing that, I didn't mind that there was a flashback screen to that so much. Even being a nostalgic fuck like I am, I kind of would have preferred to have seen them recreate that scene in the style of Sonic Frontiers and like show it like from that side perspective, but like, you know, with these models and stuff like that, and remake that shot of Angel Island. I get that's a lot of work. I kind of would have preferred that, but maybe because it was in such a drastically different style, maybe they figured people wouldn't recognize it.
I don't think that
Then
was it at all.
we
I
would-
think it's budget. I think it's purely budget, dude. Like we'd
finally...
Yeah, I would have preferred that though.
Oh, 100%.
But then people would be like, wait a minute, Classic Sonic's in the game. What?
yeah, that'll be fine.
Yeah, but, to be honest, I would be fine with a cameo from Classic Sonic. Like,
What's up, Gilly?
I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired of them being separate characters that interact, but they don't have...
I kind of don't think they are anymore, at least. I think this game kind of solidifies the fact that it is Sonic from the past.
Because like,
I mean, that's
I
why
think
that
forces...
screenshot's so important. Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't even make sense before anyway, and they couldn't get the story straight. First, it's like, oh, you're from a different time. Oh, you're from a different dimension.
I mean, yeah, that comes from being part of Pontac and Graf's very sloppy writing.
Fortunately, Avengers Endgame has the definitive answer to that. It's a divergent timeline. There you go, boom. So he was still Classic Sonic when he was a kid, but then that Classic Sonic went on and took on a life of his own. and he's in a different dimension.
Yeah,
I
but
hate
again,
that.
that's
I
us
hate
doing the
that.
writing for them, kind of a thing.
It is,
I
but thanks to Avengers Endgame for that.
I kind of hate Avengers Endgame getting the credit for that because I've seen like divergent timelines explained in ways that actually make fucking sense in other media.
I've watched
way
Dragon Ball.
But
Have
here's
you
the
watched
thing,
Dragon
is
Ball?
Have you watched
Endgame is something I've actually watched,
Steins
so-
Gate.
I'm not going to. It doesn't have Iron Man in it.
Steins Gate is literally the best
Yeah.
explanation on time travel and diverging timelines you will ever see.
Pub.
But
Pub-
does it
Pub,
have
neither-
Iron Man in it?
Neither the MCU doesn't either.
Not anymore. That's why Phase 4 sucks. No, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm getting at here. Shut up, Wayne. You
I mean,
pseudo
we've had this
intellectual
discussion before,
nerd.
but like, I mean, even those rules don't follow Sonic's established time travel rules that we've had in 2 previous games. So,
What
can
time
say-
travel rules? There are no time travel rules.
Sonic 06.
Sonic 06, it's a closed loop.
Well, then again, that game didn't even follow its own fucking rules, so
Yeah, it's
fuck
not
everything.
even. It's literally not even canon.
But it's literally also canon because we have silver.
It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
See, I told you. I
Rival-
told
Oh
you.
yeah,
You'd
and
give
they
yourself a headache.
mentioned sticks. So
Yeah, there was that
Sticks out
too.
for Sticks, I guess. Sticks is canon to the
I
main
love
timeline now.
that-
You can thank me for that, by
Puppet's
the way,
gotten
guys.
so many victories. Like, let's be real here. All right? Like, here's a terrifying thing. I'm ruining some of my script right now, by the way, but, like, this joke's too good. But I was like, oh my fucking god. B theory is more likely to happen in Sally Acorn at this point. Like, there are real
Actual fucking bees on
there
an
are
island.
real bees in this game, and they're not digital space. They're a part of the main fucking island. So there are charming bees, and then there are regular bees.
All I'm
Fuck.
saying is that
There's
Ian
more to
Flynn knows about B theory.
He does. And here's the thing, all right? This isn't exact wording, but it's as close as I can muster. He likes the bee theory, just doesn't think it should be bees.
He was
you know,
very.
He was
I
like,
think look, buddy. I think he's just being
Wasp
as polite as
theory.
fucking possible. I think he gets
Listen,
very used
listen.
to just.
listen.
Okay, all right.
All right, thanks for doing as I asked. Anyway, proceed.
No, I'm good. I was just gonna hurt your feelings some more. I'm good.
Show's over. That's it. All right, close
my
it.
fucking
Close it.
God.
No, so here's the thing though. We see realistic bees, but we also see a realistic crocodile as well when you go fishing, and Vector exists. So, two worlds theory maybe making a comeback?
My assumption there. This is, and again, like ruining more jokes. I was like, maybe this is what alligators look like versus crocodiles.
I think it would have been so funny as well if during one of the fishing missions you can actually fish out Vector, and when you get the little victory screen of Big and Sonic smiling, Vector just like walks off looking all annoyed.
But this is why
It's just-
I hate Earth as a setting for Sonic. I fucking hate this shit.
It's because it makes no sense, and it's
No.
like you have all these Sonic characters, but also regular animals. Like there's a fucking seagull. That's what seagulls look like, and this is what
It's
hawks
also-
look like.
It's
feel like-
worth noting as well, though, continuity-wise, if we want to talk about different worlds, having the one-world theory also buggers up Sonic Unleashed. Because, okay, since Eternity, the Chaos Emeralds have needed to be popped into the temples of Gaia in order to restore the Earth. This is not something that happened once. It happened loads of times throughout the ages. What the hell did they do when the Chaos Emeralds were still in space?
Wait, but
Did
if
you
it,
just
happened, if it happened loads of times throughout the ages, did it necessarily have to happen at the beginning of the planet? And also,
Yeah,
couldn't
he
it-
literally
couldn't it-
says since the beginning of the planet. Literally says
and
that.
So in terms of written history, sure, but we don't know exactly when the ancients get down in Sonic Frontiers.
Yeah, when they get down.
The
We also-
ancients easily could have gotten here well before written human history, and as a result, as far as written human history is concerned, we are always living in a world where there were Chaos Emeralds as far as human history is concerned, but the ancients could easily predate that.
But then,
did-
how did
I-
the ancients land on a fully formed Earth? Should it not
Well,
have been in
they
pieces?
didn't land on
What?
it. They were dragged down by the Master Emerald.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I mean.
also,
They
and
still
also,
land, you know?
and also, humans appeared on a fully formed Earth too, right? Like we naturally.
but that's the
evolved.
thing I'm
his
saying
point
is-
like
What?
his point is like if the ancients showed up before all of this, like if Dark Gaia was always a part of this planet, why was the planet fully intact when they showed up?
It could
Look.
easily be the fact that there was no such thing as a Dark Gaia until the Chaos Emeralds literally brought chaos and a giant corrupted being that is perceived differently by everyone to the planet.
Let's also establish that these are interdimensional spacefaring beings that have probably hopped around from place to place more than once. We also know that the Chaos Emeralds kind of like to scatter on occasion. All we know is that the ancients brought the Chaos Emeralds with them and had them in their possession. That is all we know about the Chaos Emeralds and their origin. We
You know what
do
would've
not
been-
know that was where the Chaos Emeralds like started. They
No,
could
we
have
do.
come from Earth.
No. Sage confirms that's their origin
Yeah,
was Ancients' homeworld.
Yeah,
Okay.
the ancients use them to power all kinds of garbo in where they live. We don't even know if there's technically only 7. We don't know if there were more on their planet and they only brought 7 with them. We don't have that information at all.
So and
It would have been
looks
so good
sorry, go
if,
ahead.
like, it would have been so good if when the ancients arrived, Earth was just in pieces, and it's just like, why does it want us to come here? And then they have to just put it back together again.
Well,
yeah,
I mean-
I think it's. I'm sorry, go on.
Well, I mean, Phil's saying in the comments here that Flynn mentioned in the recent Bumblecast that they're gonna retcon some stuff to make the narrative more coherent. I mean, I mean, again, like this series is not above a couple retcons here and there, so I assume they'll probably say something like they've established Dark Gaia as a thing, so like the important parts of Sonic Unleashed are still going to be there, but they're probably gonna put something like, well, Dark Gaia probably was popped into the planet at some point. You know,
And that's no different than what we've had in other long-running franchises. Like, freaking Star Wars has done this a billion times, where they're just like, "Hey, Darth Bane's canon. Look at these books about him. Also, he's not canon. Also, he's in the Clone Wars series, so he definitely is canon. But all the information about him totally isn't. But he exists and he talks." Like, it's just a normal thing for long-running series to have these kinds of retcons. Even Dragon Ball has a shit ton of retcons in it.
And
No,
honestly,
that's
I
because
think that
Toriyama writes like a crazy person.
Oh, Toriyama writes like he's on meth. Yes, I understand that.
I think I do honestly think though that like kind of like Cyrus, like you were just explaining, it's really easy to come up with a reasonable explanation for the Dark Gaia thing that can retcon or maybe add new context to the material that we thought was true before, without like getting rid of what really mattered about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I do
like
appreciate that we have somebody like the Twitter wouldn't shut the fuck up about. We're like, oh, you should apply for this job. Like, they're gonna have somebody there just kind of help organize the lore, which sounds like a fucking miserable job. So why does anybody like? Oh, I could do it. No, you can't. They're not they're not here to flex your Sonic knowledge. They're there for organization. But the point is that job's happening.
Also, because Sonic community, you're the reason nobody would actually want that job. Because who's getting filleted on a daily basis for the decisions that you make?
I mean, yeah, everyone just yells at the folks running the social media. So, bless their hearts. They're fucking.
Shall
trying.
we? Do we have any more like questions or discussion topics about the story before we look at the other objects?
I mean, we've just been jumping around like references and a couple of the character interactions and stuff like that. I'm kind of curious. For all of you guys here, did you have favorite interactions with the characters? Because I feel like the overall story was a little weak. I thought it was a little bit too thin. And I think they're trying to say, like, we're going to be putting more story forward. And they better, because we have plenty of reason to doubt that. But I'm really hoping they expand on some of the stuff they introduced here. But in terms of the little bit of interaction we had with the main cast, did you guys have any favorite interactions or anything that really stood out to you?
I absolutely have a favorite, and funnily enough, it's the cutscene that precedes the Sage montage. It's the bit where Tails just like, yeah, bye. It's just like, you know, the solution is for me to get away from you, Sonic. So I think I'm gonna go.
Amazing.
No, but seriously, that scene was actually really kind of touching, and like, there's kind of a big sense of weight to it. It's like Sonic and Tails, you know, getting ready to part ways. Tails is kind of growing up a little bit, you know, like, yeah, that feels kind of warm, and like their friendship feels very genuine. And yeah, aside from that, any scenes with like, you know, Sonic and Eggman together in the latter part of the game were a lot of fun.
We needed more of those.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest. It's a bit weird but my favorite interactions in this game are not the interactions I think are the best. I think the best interactions in this game, hands down, are Sonic and Tails. But I think my favorite interactions are the ones with Sonic and Amy during this. There's a completely different disposition that Sonic takes in this game with Amy than he does with anyone else in the narrative. And this is probably one of the first times outside of the comics that I've watched Sonic and Amy interact multiple times in a single narrative without me face palming once, without me having a moment of like, okay, can we get on to it? I get it. I know what this character's about. I know what they're gonna do. They do it every time. Like, there's a huge difference this time around with Sonic and Amy's interactions, and they have a lot more of them in this game than they do in any other one for the most part.
It's been nice to see, honestly, the way that Sonic and Amy act in pretty much every level of material. I want to say starting with like Sonic Boom, has matured.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I enjoy about watching current Amy right now. I know in IDW there was a bit of an issue of like Amy's kind of a consolidation of different character types to make up for them not existing anymore. But the version of Amy that exists in Frontiers, I really do like. And especially with some of the hidden things you can get by standing around certain places in Chronos, where you can get like Sonic going, you know, hey, I kind of wish that I had been more honest with Amy about how I felt sooner.
Oh, I thought that was cut. I thought that was just
it?
something somebody found in like on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, I've never actually run across
Not
it.
sure. I think it.
Okay.
I think it might have been. Yeah, no. He says, "Yeah, I wish I made my mind up sooner," which means that there was at least some consideration for Sonic reciprocating.
Yeah,
those
there
feelings.
was still something in the narrative planned at
It
one
was
point.
ditched as soon as they saw the animations for Sonic and Knuckles. I like to think that's the reason.
But like stuff like that, whether it's on the cutting room floor or not, I'm not super concerned. It existing at all, it being considered as part of the design process at all, is enough to make me appreciate the relationship those two characters have in a way that I have literally never been able to appreciate. I have never once given a crap about Sonic and Amy as a potential relationship. I've never liked their interactions in Sonic media that much up until the point where this game came out and started giving us a mature Amy who has kind of moved past Sonic. Like, that version of the character I like.
I didn't take away from that like she was moving on past Sonic. What I took away from it was like this was a really hard choice she had to make because she dearly loves him, but she understands like she can't just focus her entire life around somebody who is not going to reciprocate those feelings in that way, and she's going to go out into the world and I don't know, like, I mean, it was as vague as possible with it, like, spread that love or whatever, like, all right, you have fun there, Amy. You live it up, girl.
I'm gonna go screw around.
But, like, I don't know, I found her kind of accepting, like, I can't wait around for you to kind of make up your mind about whatever this is. I'm going to go find myself and, you know, like, see what happens in the future, but I don't know, I think that's a healthy message to take away from Amy specifically because of her history as a character. I love Amy in Adventure 1 and 2. I still love that kind of Amy, but like I do think we see the most growth in terms of a character with her specifically because the way they talk in this one, they talk like an old couple, or at least like they've known each other for a long time. And I think they've
been through the ringer.
And I think there's something sweet in terms of like looking at Amy from this perspective because she doesn't love Sonic just because he's a cool, flashy hero or anything like that. Like she's shown over and over again, like the more she gets to know him, and even when she just straight up challenges him, like that's something we haven't seen. Or maybe we have. I can't remember off the top of my head, but like
Not in the games.
It was really cool to see them argue, and it was just really cool to see Amy being like I mean, she's more mature, she's finding herself more, but she still loves him for who he is, but still accepts like, yeah, I've got more life to live, and it can't just revolve around you. And I thought that was a really healthy, bittersweet story to tell for her. And obviously they could come back to it down the road. She's not leaving the franchise, but I don't know. I thought that was pretty brave. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean the takeaway I got from it was not that, like, I agree with you that it's not that she doesn't still love Sonic or still care for him. My takeaway was, I guess we kind of end up agreeing on this one just for different reasons. My takeaway is she is moving on from Sonic, but it's because there's that moment in IDW where she kind of has her shake the head moment trying to pin Sonic down one last time and goes, actually no, if I were to pin you down, you wouldn't be the person I fell in love with. You go do what you've got to do and keep on doing it. This is kind of more solidified in there. None of it has to do with the fact that she doesn't want to be with Sonic anymore. She doesn't like Sonic. It has everything to do with the fact that the person who Sonic is and the person who Amy is, as far as long-term relationships are concerned, are incompatible. And I think she's coming to terms with that part a little bit. And not because their personalities don't mesh, but because literally, circumstantially, Sonic will never be around.
Yeah. No, can't disagree with any of that. It was I don't know, very, very interesting look at her perspective. I mean, we've already kind of gushed on Knuckles a bit. I think there's a lot more to go in terms of like Angel Island and everything. They keep alluding to more mysteries of the island. Gilly, did you have any favorites outside of them just giving each other the doomy eyes?
No, not really. That was like, because I mean, besides the fact that it was definitely gay, I like that. Like, those were the interactions that I liked most, probably, like Sonic and Knuckles. Because I mean, Sonic and Tails, I get what they were trying to do, but I didn't really care. I wasn't really feeling what they wanted me to feel from it. As far as Amy, I don't like Amy as a character. So anytime that there's interaction with Amy, I don't care about it.
Fair enough.
I think that I think that the Eggman and Sage thing was kind of cute, but like it also I want to compare this to something else, but I can't remember what it is because I've said this about something else before. But it's like they wanted me to care more than I did, and they assumed that I cared more than I did. Like the narrative, like the whole, like the back and forth between Eggman and Sage, and also what comes of all that, kind of like it's narrated in a way that would make sense if the game had spent more time fleshing it out.
100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Wait, what'd you say?
I 100% agree.
Yeah, it's just it would have, I would have cared more about it if they tried harder to make me care more about it. But it's like by the end of the game they were like, "You care about this, right? Look at this. Isn't this sad?" But it's like I didn't spend enough time with these characters to really, or viewing these characters' relationships to really have any kind of attachment to it.
Yeah. Well, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, like, I have wondered about that. Like, if you're not completely obsessed with these characters, like, does the story have any kind of impact?
Yeah, I kind of already said earlier, my favorite are the Knuckles and Sonic interactions. I think that I just, this is the best that I've seen Knuckles handled in a game in a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that the material from the rest of the franchise is kind of starting to catch up with the games a little bit, and we're starting to see just better handling for each character. It's why I kind of worry about, like, we have such a huge cast. Eventually, we're going to have to get back to the rest of them. And are people going to be flanderized and simplified again? Are we going to run back into the same issues? I'm hoping that everybody can kind of hold back onto what makes those characters and how they interact with Sonic and how they kind of like feed off of each other. I hope that stays.
I've been getting so tired of stupid Knuckles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm tired of stupid Knuckles.
And I like I like the Knuckles we have in this game a lot, especially the freaking like the moment where he just instinctively gets in front of Sonic for the Sage Blast and like, oh, that actually worked. That's good to know.
He reminds me of like Sonic Adventure or Sonic Adventure 2 Knuckles, but with more energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something I'm really happy about. I think that even just that prequel animation that they released with Knuckles was honestly all I needed in the world. It brought back so much of what I've wanted in this series for a long time, and it's just good to see. I'm living for making Sonic Adventure 1 and the things that made it special to me relevant again, but I also we can't dwell on that for too long. We still need like other things that need to be addressed in this franchise, and we still need the franchise to do plenty of its own thing.
I still think we're going to be focusing a lot more on Angel Island and the Master Emerald and all that stuff. I would hope so anyway, because they alluded to a lot of very important new bits of lore. So hopefully in future games or in some DLC they'll expand on that. But yeah, I mean, we still haven't talked about the end boss fight or the ending itself or any of that.
Yeah, ending itself is abrupt as hell. Like,
Yeah.
it just stops effectively. You
And
know,
then it turns. Why is the game turn into Undertale?
Yes.
Undertale Ikaruga, the last fight in Frontiers is just the last fight with fucking Azrael.
But
again.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it wasn't even just like you're like people compare it to other things, but I'm like, no, it was literally Undertale. Like the whole vibe was Undertale.
Yeah, even the whole like the boss is having a conversation with you through
Yes.
it, and it's about
Yeah.
and it is literally about your presence. That whole part where it's like you have fought gods, they were finite.
It's just-
I am different.
Like, that was the one point where I was just like, all right, Ian, calm the fuck down. Dial
Am I
it back
fighting
a
Flowey?
little bit.
he looks into the camera and says, "I am infinite."
It felt like Tell don't show the boss battle.
Yeah.
Where God, I cannot explain the level of that ruined my fucking day. Like when I got to that, because I think the rest of the game does a really good job of just amping up. It's why I liked the somber tone. It was building up like, you know, this is a serene, beautiful place, but everything feels sad. There's ruins everywhere. This was a whole civilization. There's a history to this universe that we have no idea about, and it all centers around this creature that's literally called the End. That shit's hard.
And it sounds like the Magic 8 Ball from SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Can I have something to eat? No.
And I think my favorite like summary of that was somebody was like the final boss is literally just somebody calling Sonic a cuck in 30 different ways.
Or not the Magic 8 Ball, the Magic Conch, oops.
Yeah.
I know what
But,
you meant. I know what you meant.
Yeah. And I was just like, man, the build up to what this threat could be was so good, and then you fight it and it's a fucking rock.
And you know what? The
here's the
explanation for that bothers me too, because apparently the End is supposed to be perceived differently by everybody who sees it,
Okay.
and we do not know how Sonic and Sage perceive the End. Apparently, the End we see is the End perceived by the players, and I don't understand how any of that makes any fucking
This is
sense.
the Emperor's new clothes of end bosses.
Yes,
It's one of those things
the
that
boss looks cooler to Sonic. Don't worry, guys.
they've said, they've said that as like a behind the scenes thing. It's another thing where it's like there's no evidence of that in the game whatsoever. But like,
I saw somebody say the moon from SA2 was pissed and came back for revenge.
no. So one thing I do want to say is the idea of Sonic taking on a really angry planet is just awesome, in my opinion. Like the idea of like you usually have like a big beastie or a big robot. It's like this time you got a whole freaking planet. It's like okay, awesome. But I wanted to fly up to it and punch it and stuff
I
that.
wanted to side loop that. Why can't I side loop
Yes,
that?
I looping that would have been cool. Or even having a bullet hell where it plays still in 3D like Supersonic, but now we're on this top-down thing. And I remember my reaction when I first got there. I was like, it's the hacking mini-gear. Oh no, it's the final boss, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my endless disappointment where we have a franchise that has something as fucking awesome as Perfect Chaos, which has direct ties to this game, by the way. And the most imaginative
like-
final boss we got was a fucking rock. Now
got
that
a
being
rock.
said, we
pew, pew,
do
pew,
know
pew, pew.
it's not a
It's like if
boulder.
the final boss of BioShock was just the pipe minigame.
Yeah, but like yeah.
Perfect. Fuck, that was perfect.
I have such like mixed views on it though. I gotta say, like, here's the thing. From the standpoint that I thought the bosses in this game were the highlight of the game, one of the highlights of the entire freaking franchise, to end it on this, and you're shooting little discs that are just little PNG circles. They're not an immersive element or anything like that. That's a letdown, but I will say I still kind of like it. I can't put my finger on it. Like, I think mechanically, it's all very intuitive. I even like the sass talking from the end. I love the music. Oh, the music is great. But, like,
See,
it's
the
so
sa-
weird. I'm so mixed on it. I'm so
the sass
mixed.
the sass talk pissed me off because it was like, wow, I want a reason to believe this, not just being told this is how cool the boss is. Trust me. That's what
I
it felt
get
like to
that.
me. It was compensation and nothing else.
I get that, but there's a point where it's just like countless stars, countless worlds, countless lives, all brought to neutrality. I'm like, that's kind of cool. That's quite a cool line. I was like, I kind of
cool,
like that.
It's cool speech, but it should have been in a fucking speech being spoken to us about a character, not a catalyst, a fucking character that we could actually care about. I am
Okay, but also, no matter what form I take, the end comes for you all. Is it? I don't know. It's kinda cool.
Here's my problem. I want to say that that's cool. I want to say it's amazing. You know what I also want to say? I have seen shonen anime before, so I've seen this speech so many goddamn fucking times.
Yeah.
Every goddamn shonen villain has this goddamn speech verbatim, and I am so tired.
Thanos had the same speech in the first 5 minutes of Infinity War, and then you know what he did? He fucking followed it up.
And know what else he
Like,
did? He threw a planet as just a fucking attack. That's all he did. I'm sorry, but here's what it boils down to. Just real quick. Here's what it boils down to. You do not go as hard as you fucking do for all of the supersonic fights and end with that. I don't care how good the bullet hell is. I don't give a shit how well the writing is. That is fucking unacceptable. That was garbage. I don't.
And the
period end of story. Shit.
And the developers didn't want that as the final boss either. I don't believe for a second that was the original intention.
There's literally a placeholder for a third phase in the files.
I mean, like, if there's anybody, like, you don't need to tell any of these critiques to, I guarantee it's the dev team. I would guarantee. I would put money on that.
What I find so funny though is it's like,
get.
oh, we gotta throw some elements out. We can't finish this on time. Okay, what should we throw out? How about the final boss? Like,
They
I don't
didn't even get
that.
time to. Have you seen the model for the end? They haven't optimized that shit at all. It's not even like smoothed out.
No,
it's got
the
every
end.
single polygon that was originally placed into it is still fucking there.
No, you're
like they
thinking of
slapped
the
that
Earth.
together in a week.
Are you not thinking of the Earth beneath it? Because I know when it rises up from the Earth, I'm like, Earth's looking a bit more rigid than it usually does.
And I feel like
You know what it looks like? There's a. Have you guys heard of a Medieval, the game?
Yeah.
There's the rocket launcher in that game, since there's no guns, is like a giant stick that you shoot planets out of, and it literally I put it in the back rooms. It just looks like one of the many planets that you can shoot out of.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So just I want a quick summary thing here is, here's the thing is, while I do feel mixed about the end final boss, my overall criticism is exact to Nick's. You don't go that hard on the supersonic fights to do this for the grand finale. But I don't actually mind the end's characterization or how they're brought into it, personally. Like, because they are at the end of the day a character that has been set up, and yes, they are a
I
tutorial.
can't believe we're
but it's
talking
like
about this like it's a character.
It's not a character.
It's
No, they
leading-
don't. They don't deserve to refer to
it's
the end as a
leading-
character just because he said a bunch of shit at the end of
It's
the game.
leading. It's leading Sonic on a wild goose chase. It's a destructive entity that is
No,
manipulating
it's leading the
Sonic.
fucking player on a wild goose chase. For
Yeah, the
the
player is-
wild goose being a fucking satisfying ending.
No, but like, no, what I mean, I get what you're saying, and I do agree, but I'm not going to deny all merit. I think, like, I think. Give me a minute. You're watching me try and be positive about the end boss fight, all right? This is going to take some work. I think that it's a destructive entity, and it's kind of cool to see it be like, hey, you got to destroy the Titans and free your friends, and then, oh, you're freeing me, I'm going to eat the earth. Nom, 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 nom. I don't know, I think it's kind of cool.
I honestly like to give you a note there, Pup, just kind of on your side. I do think it's a fine boss, independent from the game it's in. Again, I played some bullet hell games. Again, Ikaruga is the one everyone always brings up. I think it's fine as a bullet hell shooter. This game didn't earn that, and it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit the conclusion that it's serving as, and
I agree.
And it makes me sad. Again, it's like, I've said it a million times. The speech is compensating for the fact that they didn't give you a reason to actually believe anything that it's saying.
It is.
I mean, I don't know, though. The ancients aren't here anymore, though, and there's a lot of ruins about.
It is a good second phase for a 3-phase boss fight.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's like
Wait,
it would
the
be
third
like
phase
if-
is the third phase is the quick time events.
It would be like if the final phase of the perfect Dark Gaia fight was the bit where you're punching it as Chip.
It's like if
And that would suck.
it's like if fucking Nier Automata just coming out of nowhere at the end
Phase
of the
3
game.
is just watching
jump
Sonic
scaring
finish
you.
while you berate him some more.
Can we also mention the Supreme Titan as well? Like,
That's
because
light shots.
That is such a buggy fight.
Supreme
my
Titan
God.
is like the video game equivalent of reheated leftovers for the big finale.
That,
Like,
Yeah.
game is
Yeah.
the equivalent of reheated leftover cyberspace.
I was disappointed by the Supreme because the Supreme being just a reskin, which I think you were talking about, Pup. But also just it's so fucking
Yeah.
easy. It's got my least favorite like lyrical song in the game. And it's just like yeah.
And the fact that the fight literally cannot end unless an actual random trigger occurs, and the game can soft lock and never have the trigger occur. I've gone into that fight before with 428 rings and come out of the fight unable to kill the boss because I died, and I died because while I had 300 rings, I got the boss to the amount of health he's supposed to be at to trigger the gun part. 300 seconds tick by, and he doesn't pull out the gun.
You know what it doesn't pull out?
oh God, Wayne.
You know what else is disappointing was that the first 3 Titans have they have build up in the sense that they show you facing off against it as regular Sonic to give you a sense of scale for like how much more powerful you are as Super, and it
Right.
gives you it
You
gives
have
you
none of that with Supreme.
the Supreme just kind of fucking shows up.
Yeah, Supreme just I like okay, so the whole fucking time when Sonic and Sage and Eggman are having their conversation about go fight that last Titan, I'm like, where? Where is this last Titan? Where the fuck is it? I don't see it. Every other Titan.
Oh, you didn't know? You don't know it's behind the invisible fucking wall in the middle of the goddamn
It-
fucking
it's-
forest, and not this
It's
big
just
giant
chilling
fuck-off
in
pyramid?
chilling in the pond, you know.
It agitates because like okay, you can see physically, you can see Giganto from anywhere on the map.
Giganto.
And you can
That's not,
you
that's
can-
not even true.
and
You
you can
can't see the
literally
Wyvern.
And
You can see the wyvern, yeah.
Yeah.
You can see Giganto. You can see Giganto even before he spawns.
Giganto.
I can't stop
And I know
saying that.
and I don't
Only
I
on
don't
the
give a shit.
Switch. Only on the Switch.
What? No, you can do that on PC as well.
All right.
You literally look. The speed run for the game, literally, the guy in the first 20 minutes launches himself into the air, sees Giganto, and then falls into Giganto's arena.
Yeah, no, I'm hearing that. I'm
shit.
hearing that, but you're expecting a lot of the draw distance of this game.
So I think what pup means is, or sorry, not to put words in your mouth, but it's sort of like where in Majora's Mask, where you're intended to see the moon at all times, versus Giganto, where you have to do some shit to the game. It's not intending for you to be able to see him.
Yeah, what I'm saying is Giganto is physically in his arena. He's physically in his arena. The wyvern is physically flying around.
You cannot physically see Supreme in the pond because
Supreme,
he's underwater, seeing how long he can hold his breath.
He's doing a Godzilla.
he just appears later, and he doesn't even like. There's not even a real sequence where he appears that like contextualizes where he's been or his scale or anything. It's just you go super, and then Supreme appears because it is time for the final fight and the plot demands it.
I will say. Sorry, Wayne, you go first.
I just really want to know what the ending of this game was supposed to be.
I like the progression though.
Let's just put
Between the Titans, like you begin with Giganto, who's just like, I have no weapons, I'm just an old man. And then there's Wyvern. Who's like, okay, I got some rockets, but ultimately I'm a lizard. And then you got Knight, who's like, yeah, I got a sword and shield. And the final Titan just pulls out a freaking rifle on you.
The final Titan's like, hey, you remember that one moment in IDW where Eggman just pulled out a Glock on Tails? Yeah, I'm like that.
What's that one?
The NRA Titan.
What's that Naruto meme where it's like, I'm out of chakras, Sasuke, but I ain't out of options.
That really is what they should meme that with the Titans. Like, not out of options, just hold up the fucking gun. And we're far from the first people to point it out, but like those are basically like copy for copy Evangelion models.
Yeah, they're like, I mean, yeah, the first, it's just fighting angels from Evangelion. That's all it is.
The first mod that I saw for Sonic Frontiers was
Unit 001 is Giganto.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. After that, I saw Gangnam Style Giganto.
Yep.
Yeah. But also, there's a Supreme Titan mod where they put the Supreme brand logo over his face.
It's fucking perfect. And my problem is this. I love Frontiers. I love this game to bits. It is one of my favorite Sonic games. It has mostly one of my favorite Sonic stories. Once you get here, once you get to the end, it's like the ribbon just falls apart. It was a nice, stable piece wrapping everything up. It was really good, and then it just falls to shreds when you get to the end. I'm like, but why? But why?
I even down to Oranos Island. Like, I remember playing through the game, and I get to Rhea Island. I'm like, okay, it's a filler island. Cool. Okay. Final island? Oh, my little heart sank. Just like, not another grass island.
It's become more and more apparent like that's clearly all meant to originally be one island. And like we've all seen like the maps, like how they kind of fit together. But like I wish I'd captured this footage. But like my first time landing there, I didn't capture it because I was playing on Steam Deck while we were all out in Georgia. But like after the narrator has revealed itself to be the big evil, that I just randomly stopped in the field and it explains the game to me. Like, go collect this.
Yeah, it's still helping you.
Go collect this to get this. Like, what the fuck?
Speak to the hermit to get extra strength or something.
Where the fuck were you in the first fucking level?
Also, just the fact that Sage's memory tokens are the same hearts that Amy uses. What, you didn't have, like, some Eggman assets laying around or something? It would have been so funny if it was Orbots and Cubots.
Just the
you mean
Eggman
her
logo.
brothers?
Oh, the ones
I'd
that
like
they reference and you never see? Those ones?
Yeah. Those ones.
I mean, did you want to see him? That's the
Yes.
question. Did you?
I
I
want
like
Yes.
Orbot and Cubot.
No. Like,
I-
genuinely, like, to go back to what you were saying as far as juxtaposing how Eggman treats his robots versus Sage.
No, you know what? You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. I agree fully.
it would've been perfect.
I would be fine if they stopped existing in the series. They've never been funny.
I don't think they're that. I think they're inoffensive. I thought the most offensive they were.
I think they're inoffensive, but they don't serve the purpose that they're meant to serve, which is being funny.
Look, I'm gonna say what I always say. I like them in Boom.
I like them in Boom because they're sadder. I like
them in I like them in IDW because they're useful.
Not really.
Oh, I sure enjoyed them in Prime though. Oh, they were in that a lot.
They were literally integral to them surviving the Metal Virus arc.
I think I also just hate their designs.
I mean, as far as I see, they're still inferior Scratch and Grounder.
That's fair.
I'm gonna stop certified there. Ellis Mark wrongly claimed that it was false advertising because they promised 5 different islands. No, the game does that for you. Like, if they show you at the very beginning there 5 different sections there with a counter there, you put on the assumption of 5 islands. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but they call the 4th island its own island name. They call it Rhea Island. That is treating it like an island when it's clearly this is the arena I fought the first fucking boss. You lying piece of shit king.
You can
I was
literally
just running around in Rhea Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just rerunning around through Rhea Island.
There's so much there, dude.
It's the arena. It's the arena where you fight Giganto.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah, like it is the same island you were on. Like it's not a 4th island. It is returning to one where they added new assets on top of it to pretend it's a different place.
No, but the point where you can best see Kronos as well is at the top of a waterfall where there's a statue, which is the same statue that rises as you go fight Giganto.
Yeah, you
So
can literally go
it's-
down and
it is
overlook all of it. You can. They don't even hide it.
Yeah. And if you watch my video later tonight, we'll even go there. So yeah.
Hey.
It's again like my pitch in my script, whichever one I gotta finish. I have so many of them. I feel like and this is all like obviously like Captain Hindsight here. I really feel like they could have avoided a lot of the grief we as a fan base have had with the last 2 islands, even though there's clearly rushed elements to it, if they had just stuck with the 3 islands, because the narrative sets up 3 islands and 3 titans the whole way through. As far as Sonic knows, he only has 3 titans to save his 3 friends. And then if they're like, "Oh, you beat Chaos Island," you have to go back to Kronos because there's now new things there. And then after you activate it, fucking there's the final island. And like if they revealed it like that, people would have been just fine.
Yeah, or if they didn't even specify a number but had just advertised like, Kronos, Chaos, and Ares.
Yeah.
Like here's the thing is like 3 islands is not to be sneezed at in an open world style game.
No, not
and
at
then
all.
And then by the time I'd get to Rhea and Orinos, I'd be like, oh, there's more. Cool. Okay, that's kind of neat. But then it's just like, also, here's the thing, is they did show the final 2 islands in the advertisement. Like, if you look at even just the first trailer, you can see Orinos, you can see Rhea Island. Like, they didn't even keep it a secret. It's the funniest bit to me.
Yeah, there's just so many little things, bits and pieces here that I'm just like, we could have handled this a little bit fucking better. I'm gonna put money down right now. Let's take bets right now.
Okay.
Who here thinks they're going to add to the final boss in this DLC coming up for?
Oh, I absolutely think. I feel like there's no point in having the DLC at this stage if you're not going to do that.
I agree. I think completely.
I think the last phase is going to be behind whatever that extra story bit they've teased is in the DLC.
I'm gonna go ahead and
No, it's going to be the ends, and it's going to be 2 planets.
I honestly think
it's the end,
like,
but now it has rings.
The end and Knuckles.
even as much as I've bitched about it, I don't think that there's anybody on the planet as like frustrated by the final boss in its state, like Nick, like you said, as the developers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
go ahead, Pop. Sorry.
I'll go the contrarian route. I'm gonna say I don't think there's a new final boss waiting for us because I feel like the one we have, it still wraps it up, and they'd have to go through
it's
some
called the
mental
end.
gymnastics.
We're not saying another final boss. We're just saying the 3rd phase.
Yeah, I think that they're going to.
Oh, so you think it might be like, yeah, go back and replay it, and it's like, oh, here's a third phase, basically.
Yeah, there's.
It sounds like you
that's what I
guys
think is
don't
gonna
know
happen.
what the end means.
Really
so
good.
that-
Haven't you ever had a rebound relationship? The end is never the end.
Wait, no, imagine though, like there's gonna be like at least one player out there who got to the cutscene where the planet rocks up and it just says the end, and then just put down their controls like, oh, I guess it's over then.
I want it to be that splash card that comes up where it'll be like Supreme, the end, sloppy seconds.
Fantastic.
The end, and it's just somebody needs to make a mod where it's a butt instead of a planet, and it's called the end.
yeah, it just poos on you instead of
They're
the
just gonna
laser.
steal some more Japanese robots. Gonna fight Metal Gear Ray at the end of the game. Now.
Dude, I'd be down.
I would too.
Fuck it.
Wait, so we're gonna fight Metal Gear Ray the Flying Squirrel? Epic.
I swear to fucking.
So, boys, are we gonna be ready to start moving along to super chats?
I think so. I guess the last thing that I have to say is that if it's not just for the DLC, I think that there's some fun implications behind the post-credit scene, with Eggman and Sage like seemingly being surviving the encounter with the end. And I almost find his little like anecdote of the that's my girl thing, something about the tone Pollock said that in was almost more threatening than it was charming, and I liked it.
Oh yeah, I get the feeling we're in for a story of existential stuff. Like, should you have brought her back? Did you deny her closure?
That's
Yeah.
I think there's some heavier themes there than they were alluding to there. I mean, there's a lot of comparisons to Zelda in terms of how they structure the story, but what they do differently here, what I liked was there's a massive emphasis on moving on acceptance, on closure, and all these things here. And death, you can't completely escape death. I mean, I know Sonic literally punched it in the face or anything, but like everything that they try and win back comes at a cost. So when he's in his comatose state, they have to sacrifice themselves to bring him back. And even when he goes and gets his friends out of cyberspace, it still comes at the cost of Sage. And I feel like the only person who didn't learn a lesson from this story, who didn't grow, was Eggman. And he's cheating death at the end of that story.
I think that moment with his his little where you see him kind of clench his fist, I fucking love that shot, by the way.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
But that was his resolve, and that's not a good thing. Not in terms of meaning positive things for this world. And I really liked that ending, honestly.
Yeah, I did too. So I hope they play with that a bit more. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. I mean, that's kind of my job, I guess. But I did really think there was some heavy emphasis on
It's a real job.
on these characters growing, and accepting where they are, and like moving on past where they have been before. And Eggy not taking that lesson away is going to be detrimental for everybody. Like, he's doing the exact same thing he did at the very start, which was, this is technically his fault. All this shit happened. And he's just going to keep causing the same problems, and it's probably going to blow up from here. I think that's fascinating, and I really hope they play with that a bit more going forward. I really hope the takeaway this time, and I think it is, just because these sales are strong, like it's really strong for this game. I think the takeaway is going to be like, yeah, let's be a little bit more courageous. We can have the levity. We can have I think they needed a bit more humor in this game. I thought it was clever the few times they did it. But I think they should also be like, yeah, let's give some definition to these characters. Let's give Ian a little bit more control in terms of the thematic elements of these games. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the future.
All right.
That's me.
So are we ready to do super chats now or what? Like, can we give them money?
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm ready.
Money.
Jesus Christ.
So, should we just have Go Pup, me,
What?
Gilly, Cirrus, Wayne?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I cannot stress enough how infuriating it is every time my thing drops out, but yeah. All right. Okay. Mailbag. All right. Before I burst. Okay. Where are we? Okay.
At the
Our
beginning.
pal Jamal. Yes, our pal Jamal sends $2. Happy holidays, B Theory forever, Pup and Gilly ship. Oh no.
Which one's Sonic and which one's Knuckles? I need to figure out what kind of bedroom eyes they're making.
Amazing. That Jordo with $5. I can finally send this. Sonic said, "Let's do it to it" in one of his Sage convos. Oh my god. It is kind of nice to have that in an official video game, finally.
Yeah, Rouge also said that to Shadow in Sonic Forces. Don't get too excited.
Let me be excited about things. Let me love things, pup. Let me love my hate
Can we
coins.
have
No.
can we
No,
have Sonic say
be
it's jelly and
angry.
jam time?
No,
Gilly, before anyone realizes what the hell Cirrus meant by that, do you want to get Otis Small?
Otis Small with $5. Hey Gilly, can you tell Johnny that he gets closer to becoming Tatsu from the TMNT movies every single day? I'm assuming you mean Some Call Me Johnny.
he kind of is. After speaking to that man in real life, he kind of is.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think the most he said to me was,
He's a man of few words.
And then he sent a bunch of ninjas after me. I don't know what I did.
We've seen him at multiple conventions, and I think out of all of them, we can construct a sentence we've all shared.
He's very
he
quiet.
likes Wayne. He likes Wayne.
He does like Wayne.
Yeah.
I know who you are, Wayne.
Everyone likes Wayne.
I know who you are, Wayne.
That was the
You guys are
So
you guys are describing him like he's a box turtle.
That would explain why Nick
Oh,
likes him.
Cirrus, you're up with Sonic
I
Fan
know,
1661.
Sonic Fan 1661. Thank you for the $5. I hope in the next game, if Boost is used, they go with the physics from Generation / Unleashed. Very much peak Boost gameplay and very fun. I hope we do as well, because watching the Boost gameplay degenerate from what we had in Generations to Forces to here, I want off that roller coaster and I want onto a different one now.
So I disagree wholeheartedly. I think in Frontiers, aside from loop physics being trash, it's the best it's ever been. I mean, the turning, man, the turning.
I think it's two different teams working on the same thing, because cyberspace was fucking trash.
Yeah, cyberspace can go eat itself, but
I think they need to do a little bit better job in terms of like designing these worlds for Sonic, because there were just a lot of little platforming elements that didn't really fit his model, and there were spots where he just magnets to the ground where it would naturally he'd just maybe shoot off from, and then there are like little rocks where he'll just rocket off somewhere. Overall, it feels good, but
there's absolutely room.
Did you see there's a mod?
There's absolutely room for improvement.
Did you see the mod that like it doesn't
I'm out.
like fuck your momentum when you jump?
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've experimented with a lot of the physics mods, and I found a lot of them are really fun but incredibly exploitable. But there's one I recommend called Trap TD's physics mod. Guys, check that one out. Anyone watching, check it out, because it doesn't ruin the game, but it does give you a bit more momentum. So
It is funny the way you describe that mod, Gilly, because all I heard was, have you seen the mod where the cyberspace levels aren't ass?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
They gotta
Sorry.
stop. They gotta stop.
Yeah.
They
With
got a
this mod,
timeout.
with the mod that I've been using, though, even heck, the open zone in cyberspace mod, it does turn cyberspace into some pretty peak gaming, if you ask me. So, yeah. Wayne, you're up with Little Otis.
Okay, we got Otis Small with $5. Also, question for Wayne is was. I'll kill you. Could you beat Dan Castellaneta and or Frank Welker in a fist fight? Asking for a friend. Dude, Frank Welker is like 76. So yes, probably, but I wouldn't feel good about it.
That wasn't the question, was it? We
What
didn't
about-
care about your feelings.
What about Homer?
Could you
what about
fucking
Homer?
do it?
Dan
Wayne, punch me.
Dan Castellaneta, I'm a little less familiar with. I know he's a legendary voice actor, but also keep in mind it's been
Marriage.
like two
The
episodes.
boy
of
has-
Marriage.
Wayne has become the boy.
I'm gonna say
Why, you
yeah.
little-
Yeah, come on, Dan. Meet up. Let's
up,
find
bitch.
out.
Wayne, could you beat up a small child? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Morally or physically?
Could
You
you?
wouldn't
Yes or
down a child.
How do
I
you
mean, the answer
morally
better be
beat
the same
someone
then.
up?
What?
So, Zygarde
Yes.
Lagan.
Hard yes.
Zygarde Lagan sends $5. I've returned bearing money. Missed hanging with y'all and glad to see you again. Thank you for returning bearing money. I don't care about the I'm just kidding.
my God.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Zygarde, for all your support as per the usual.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much. Vincent
What a kick.
Jerez. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I'm not sure what this currency is, but like the screen said it was about $5. I'm pretty sure. Either way, thank you for the support. What I found really interesting about the Maria Egg memo is Eggman saying, "So much love for someone who's gone while I was right there." This is the closest we've ever gotten to Eggman's upbringing. Yeah, I agree completely. I that caught me off guard too. Like that's kind of what I wondered from Sonic Adventure 2. It was like, oh shit, we're getting into Eggman's past. Like let's kind of talk about it. Let's pull up our seats and just really let's hash it out. And yeah, I thought that was really cool. It kind of gives you little hints into why he is the way he is. And again, like
Well,
I said
sir,
1,000 times.
I was breastfed. Nice.
Well, didn't they? I think that there was like there was an interview or something with Jim Carrey talking about playing Robotnik in the movie and saying that part of the reason he hates Sonic is that Sonic represents kind of the youth and joy that he never got to have. And obviously, you know, that's an actor talking about a film adaptation of a character, but we've seen other ways that you know, the games are starting to try to take some notes from the films, and I feel like that's not a bad avenue to take.
It's
Not at all,
really.
boy.
It's better than rotten egg fused with me, and now I'm angry.
I agree.
Gilly, you are up with Stevie Cole.
Stevie Cole with 50 of that. Merry Christmas, boys, and thank you for being such
Why are you guys so dense when it comes to other currencies?
Because we don't
How do you
use it.
know-
We're American.
I'm
It's
lying.
not the dollar, it's
fucking
not real.
America.
And we clearly do. We clearly need it. So thank you, Stevie. So much.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to call every currency dollars.
Okay, well, just
Isn't that
anyway.
unfair?
What does the great super chat say, Gilly? Read it to us.
Merry Christmas, boys, and thank you for being such good company almost every Friday. I read that as such good company almost. Not
We were almost there, damn it.
Just fall short of being
sending
good
nothing
company.
but luck and love into the next year.
Oh, come on, Stevie. That's not fair.
I'm not doing that.
Oh, Natalie.
closest.
You're speaking the
Lower.
fucking language from Avatar.
I don't speak Welsh. I don't think even Welsh
But
people speak
think-
Welsh.
I think
I
the
can
only
moon
like
speak.
I think the
From
only
what I
like,
understand, from what I understand, Welsh is just a language that the Welsh people speak while the English are around, so they don't have to talk to them.
It looks like Pig Latin.
Oh my God.
I think the only
Gave us so much
context I
money
have
to
for
be
like a
offensive.
Welsh accent is like the only context I have for that accent is the cat girl in Xenoblade 2. So
Do you roll the L's like in Spanish? Like there's two L's. Do we do? Is it Yawan?
I have.
I think you can. I don't know.
Jordo with the
I'm not about-
$5. The fact that Tangle is canon to the games, and by extension Whisper and Surge, possibly even the Metal Virus. I'm so happy I need a Metal Virus game. That Jordo, it's not a possibly thing. The IDW comics are canon to the games.
Nut.
Like,
I mean,
this pleases the nut.
it's just been. I mean, he's been vague about it, but he's like, well, I mean, just been writing it so it's not contradictory to the game. So he might not have gotten the official word yet that it's canon, but I think he's really hoping the stories like Flynn's created, along with the team over there, can be considered canon.
If the comics are canon, that means gay people are canon.
folks.
That's
For
true.
God's sake,
Gay birds.
I need to dip.
Okay.
But-
Yeah, we need it. Let's zip through these then.
Yeah, you guys zip through them. I'm gonna go, but
You guys
before
have fun.
you guys have fun. But before I do, I just want to say to all of you in the chat, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's called Channel Pup, and tonight you're getting a new video, and it's on Sonic Frontiers mods. Okay, all right. Thank you all for watching.
Wow, Antude ripoff.
Shut up. Shut up. Okay, just shut up.
I just want that clip of Ant just yelling at Caddy.
I have to go now. My planet needs me.
Then go. Leave. And I hope your planet is a fake one the developers
It's a
designed
Simpsons
to
joke,
fake
you
us out.
stupid bitch. God damn it.
Shut
Even
up.
I know that.
I don't care.
People watch The Simpsons.
That's the one
Some
season.
people do.
That's oh shit. What's that dog?
Merge.
Merge.
I like when on Twitter, we like when you go on trending and you randomly see stuff and you're like, why is that trending? I like when it says Simpsons airing on Fox and I'm like, no fucking way.
I like when we can't build on jokes just because they're references. I like that
Yeah.
part.
So let's carry on here. Who was next?
Wayne.
Let's see. We got Sonic fan 1661 1661.
Yep.
Better.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sonic fan. $2 at the end of podcast. Check Twitter for something cool.
Actually,
Okay.
it says at end of podcast.
That's what I said.
Did you?
He did.
I think
He
I think
did.
so.
I'm not paying attention.
Thanks. All right.
It's weird because I think in my head I heard the correct way.
In my head, I heard Gilly doesn't care about me.
No.
Jam H, $4.99. Thank you so much, dude. Hey gamers, happy holidays from my freezing town of -1 degrees. Make sure to stay warm and
That's
drink.
a weird town name.
That's a very strange town name.
How are we not all fathers yet? Are you?
Oh man, is this a dead or alive spinoff? Because that sounds like Death by Degrees.
Hey, my freezing town.
Uh,
Hey, my freezing town. I'm Dad.
okay, come on. Let's. Fucking hell.
Make sure to stay warm and drink your hot gamer cocoa. And way past and a way past cool Christmas. Thank you, Gem H. I hope you have a Merry Christmas as well, dude. Gilly. Higanto
What the fuck do you want?
Higanto the kid. It's your turn.
Way past Yule Kid with a $1.99. Hi, boys. It's almost my 30th birthday. Merry Christmas. I don't know why I went into that accent.
Because I know exactly what you're thinking, even subconsciously. That's how much freedom costs.
It does.
That's right.
I want to live in a country where we're all free and we all speak like this.
Freedom and free.
That's right.
Cost of. Well, I don't actually remember what that.
But Bucko 5?
Bucko
You're going to say
5.
Bucko 5?
I couldn't remember what it was. But when you went into the
Bucko
accent,
5.
that's immediately what I thought of.
You know, I wish I could say stop being offensive, but it's to Texas, so it's fine.
There's a hefty fucking
1911.
fee.
It's Team America. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm joking. But Mike 1911, thank you for the $4.99. Because 6 was confirmed canon, I'd like to think that Sega will reintroduce non-game characters down the road, and I'm gonna hold on to that idea. I mean, they already did with Tangle, unless you're
Well,
hoping for other non-game
I mean,
characters.
she's part of the Boom games, so. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what, Mike 1911? Once in my life, I agree with you.
he wants a new Sally model to yank it to. That's all.
Yank everybody to it. It's fine.
You're gonna yank everyone off. What?
Don't even worry about it. That's literally the joke, Wayne.
You
Yes.
know, you're gonna Weird Al Yankovic.
He doesn't just hold it when you pee.
Dare to
You're
be
gonna
stupid,
Weird
dude.
Al. You're gonna Weird Al wank a bitch.
Has anyone seen Weird?
Can't
I've seen
No,
UHF.
No.
UHF are fucking rules.
you can't say wank without Wayne.
Yank his
I mean, he kind of. There's no N in Wayne.
Wank.
Anyway,
stupid.
yes. Bring in all the characters. Bring in all of them. Everyone stop being bitches about which characters are canon or not canon. Bring them all in. Sega, you own these characters. Use them.
I can't wait for the villain of the next game to be Joffrey St. John.
I would play that game. I would shoot him in the face. Give Sonic a gun for that game specifically. All right.
All right, we got OzJam H with $4.99. Thoughts on the voice acting performance. I know Knuckles is iffy, but I am warming up to it personally. I think the voice acting in the game is good. Again, yeah, the voice acting for Knuckles is iffy. I'm not as against it as I was, but I still would prefer something a little less what it is.
Which way to the beach, bruh? Yeah,
Yeah.
a little less of that. Yeah. No, I've said that before. Like, I don't like his voice. I think it's well acted, all things considered, but yeah, that particular cadence, not for me. Not for me at all. Gilly loves it though.
What do I love?
Yeah.
Here, you piece of shit. Pay attention. Knuckles' voice.
I have ADD. Fuck you.
Oh yeah, you're the only one. You poor thing. Swear to
So
God.
sorry for you, Gilly.
But yeah, it's
That
canon.
doesn't. All right. So if you have it, you stop paying attention randomly too.
Well, okay.
We're just all better about it.
No, well, it's just Gilly. Now you're just it's canon. You love Knuckles' voice.
Yeah.
Huh?
He wants to make
gross.
Sonic Eyes at Knuckles' voice.
He sounds like
I'll-
Patrick.
I also love Knuckles' voice. I'm tough.
I love it. All right,
That's it. That's his next tattoo.
Who's got? You got Zygarde, right,
yeah,
Nick?
Yeah, my turn. So Zygarde Lagan, back again. Thank you. $5. Nick, when you eventually play Sonic and the Black Knight, you'll possibly say that it's the playable version of It Doesn't Matter from SA1.
What?
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 I've
What?
I've played through that
Says
game
Knuckles?
twice, and I don't.
Constant
I-
yawning. That's what Knuckles sounds like.
Yeah.
Sonic, I can't lose this.
I mean, I could, but I prefer not to.
Yeah, Zygarde. Hopefully I'll figure that out. I assume the lyrics have something to do with the game's plot or characterization of Sonic. Maybe. I don't know. I'll find out. I
The
guess.
plot does go in. The plot goes in some unexpected places.
Yeah, I mean I'm familiar with the broad strokes, but
Yeah.
That game fucking sucks shit.
Damn. I need.
It does. It's terrible.
Gilly, it's your
Well-
turn.
Otis Small with $5. The ending would have hit harder if the end gave Sage a. I don't know what that is.
Tetsuo.
Tetsuo kind of transformation, and Sonic had to take her out.
Tetsuo. Shit.
Kaneda,
Tetsuo. Oh, like from Akira.
From Japan.
Yeah, Kaneda,
Oh, okay.
Tetsuo.
Hey, it took me a second. I had to remember where that was from.
Psychic flesh mech monsters.
I don't know what the fuck that is. So
Oh, dude, have you not seen Akira?
Oh, have you
No.
not? Oh my god.
Akira is some really cool animation with the basic as fuck story that you've seen a million
Yeah.
times, but the animation is gorgeous.
It's one of the things that helped popularize Japanese animation in the West. It's one of the
Yeah,
things that helped.
it's worth watching. I think you would. Yeah, I think you might like Akira.
Just for the cultural importance of it, yeah. I
Yeah.
think it will.
Yeah.
You
Like,
know that
it's-
one
it's-
motorcycle shot that's in everything? Yeah, that's what that's from.
It's from Akira. Nope.
I-
Zygarde Lagan, thank you for the $2. Opa Giganto style.
Giganto.
There it is. Wayne,
Yeah, what's up? Hi, how you doing?
you want to take the next one?
Yeah, let me find it again.
Wow. Why don't you fucking pay attention, Wayne?
Hey, I didn't say
Wayne,
shit to
do
you.
you need a burger? Do you need burger?
Burger.
Len.
Len.
We got Black Yakuzu 94 with $5. My patience was gone by Chaos Island and its abundance of 2D.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
Yep.
Yeah. You know my favorite part about the 2D on Chaos Island, though, was the fact that every one of those sections you could just approach from a different angle and just do it in 3D, and it was so janky, but it was so much more fun.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff where like I accidentally went in 3D and I went, oh, thank God.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was kind of clear. I think Chaos Island was like the turning point. There was like, oh no, we're running out of time and money on this project.
But it didn't
Hey,
have to
hey,
be in 2D. They could have just done it in 3D.
Chaos Island is where basically everything starts feeling a bit of a budget cut.
It's the labyrinth zone of this game, as far as I'm concerned.
I mean,
I wouldn't go that far.
I would fucking love to see. I'm sorry. I would love to see something kind of like Labyrinth Zone tackled in a 3D like game where you just had more maneuverability and they're dealing with like water slides and shit. That could be fun if it's handled well.
Yeah, and you're like, wow, I can't wait till this is over.
Oh, well, no, that's not what I mean.
I mean, whenever they do, if they do water again, I wonder if they'll finally have the balls to say Hydro City or Hydrocity.
I personally
they have everybody in the group say it differently and then argue over how to say it.
I mean, if
I
they're
know,
still writing,
really,
I know, like that's I will put money. If I ever talk to him, I'm going to ask him like, tell me straight, tell me true. I don't care if it's on the record or not. Is that on your checklist of things to do in future Sonic games? Is to canonize Hydro City once and for all?
I specifically want them to all say Hydrocity a different way, but never acknowledge that they are all pronouncing it a different way. I want them to go through almost as if the people are just reading their lines in booths separate from each other and they have no idea what the fuck the other ones are talking about. Just go through that entire sequence like that.
I personally really enjoy the second stage of Sonic 3 and Knuckles that we all collectively agree is called Waterworld, starring Kevin Costner.
There it is. That's the one.
I also like the poop shoot level.
All right, where are we at here, boys? Who's up next? Is it me?
It's you with Covio.
Okay. Covio Cartoonic with 5... Merry Christmas! Here's some Sonic lore for you. Light Gaia and Dark Gaia were born with the planet. The last awakening was 10,000 years ago. That's probably changing. So,
yep.
Just hold on to your butts, kids.
Yeah. I don't want to hold on to my butt.
Then instead of holding on to your butt, get on to the next paper chat.
Hold on to your end.
Where do you poop from? The end.
Your turn, Gilly.
What? Koivo Cartoonic.
No. You're below. Well, no, you're right. I'm sorry.
Am I? No, yeah.
You're right. He has two. I'm sorry.
With a $10. A whole $10.
Thank you, Koivo.
Merry Christmas. More Sonic lore. The Gaia temples were built during the last awakening by an unknown race to help heal the planet with the emeralds. I'm not saying it was ancients, but ancients.
Well, I mean, they would cause a bit of a plot hole there in terms of the design of the structures then, wouldn't they?
Do you think that now that we know about the ancients and they are aliens, do you think that there's going to be like a character who has a show called Ancient Aliens?
Yeah. Oh my god. All right.
The
sir.
next one is Zanderoni. Thank you for the $5. Do you think we'll get super forms for Tails, Knuckles, and Amy with the DLC? They do show a Titan in the promotional pic for it. I don't think they're bold enough to do that. I think they're just going to leave it at Knuckles going, hey, I would have done it better if I was Super Sonic. It would have been better if I did it.
better if I did it.
I just want Hypersonic. I that's all I want, man.
Yeah, at this point, that's really... I need them to just canonize that shit at least happened and just make him just light up like a fucking Christmas tree. Please.
Nope.
Just
never happened.
Why do they hate me so much? Why do they hate cool things? All right. All right, Wayne, it's your turn.
All right. Is that Mr. Krabs with $1.99?
That's the one.
Hot take. The song "Find Your Flame" is met. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of feel the same way. It is interesting to me because my favorite song out of the bunch is "Breaking Through It All." I just think it's the most exciting, and I think it has the most range in terms of like tone. that it goes through. It just feels like an adventurous song. And then Find Your Flame, I don't like the main key that like the chorus is sung in. So that's me.
So my thing is, Find Your Flame is my favorite of the songs for this game.
Oh, don't fucking disagree with me, Cirrus.
It's okay. It's okay. But you know what? Here's the thing.
Yeah.
One of my favorite vocal tracks in all of Sonic is Infinite's theme, and this song is sung by Kellen Quinn and the person who sung Infinite's theme together. So like, and there's also motifs in this song that are lifted from Infinite's theme. So it makes sense that I would love this one because it's just a carryover from Infinite's theme.
I just think that they're little like, I don't want to say rap, but they're like rhythmic speaking is cheesy.
I love that. So I have listened to that song while just like when I'm at the gym. That is one of my go-to songs.
I mean, I still like it. I don't want to make it sound like I hate it or anything. I do still enjoy it. I just think breaking through it all, just like it got something. You guys saw me when I got to that boss for the first time. I was losing my fucking mind. I thought that was awesome.
No, I agree. I think Break Through It All, it works really well because it drags you into what these fights are going to look like. By the time you get to Find Your Flame, it sounds like Sonic is like... I kind of interpreted all of these songs as like Sonic's almost internal monologue as he's fighting. By the time you get to Find Your Flame, I'm just like, oh, he's fucking cocky, and I'm okay with that.
I just think, like, honestly, the Wyvern fight might be the peak of the game for me. It's
I got a
so
great
cool.
I got a great cover you guys should listen to.
Oh, I've played it in my store before,
many times.
Yeah, I've put it on blast in my store, just so my coworkers can hear
I have made many of my friends listen to it, much to their chagrin at first.
You know, here's a hot take because the old man's been quiet because I've been not super vocal. I've been very meh about music when we first heard that first song. But here's my hot take. I fall in love with all of it. I really like all the fucking music.
It's really good. Yeah,
for me, it's like I've been listening to Kellen sing since I was like 18. So
see, this is exactly what I fucking said. I think a couple of weeks ago, where I was like, yeah, this seems exactly like up Achilles' alley.
Yeah, I gotta say though, like, I think it's because of Infinite's theme that made me just really fall in love with that song. Because at first I was like, is this just the Infinite theme? What's happening here? But like, the way I interpreted it was like, okay, the Infinite theme is this song from the Infinite perspective, but this is that same song from the Sonic perspective. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I love that motif.
Yeah.
So much.
So... I don't know, like it's corny shit. I'm with you. If there's one thing I didn't need to come back, it is rock rap. But I was here for it, man. I had a great time with every song. I usually hate spoken lyrics in games, but they hired some motherfuckers who just make music for a living. And goddamn it, this was so good.
I still think like from the first song, I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but I'm What You Get When the Stars Align is still one of the coldest like lines of lyrics I've ever heard.
It is.
That's fucking so cool. Yeah.
Oh man. That's sexy stuff. Is it my turn?
Mm-hmm. I believe it is.
All right, let's see. OzGem H back again, $2. Thank you. Thanks, you daddies and pup. Like we're all the dads, and then there's pup. I appreciate the dad gag. Amazing. All right, Gilly, your turn.
Where?
Do you need a burger?
Yeah, I need a burger.
You need a burger.
Can I confess something to you guys? I don't know how to actually use the emojis because it keeps showing me like all these different servers, and I can't use any of them because I don't have.
Well, you should be able to just like when you tap on the little add emoji thing, there should be like a little text box where you can like search a specific one.
Just type in Barker.
Oh, here we
Barker.
go.
Sonic Fan 1661, $2. Well, at least buy us dinner first. Why is there an eggplant?
Why is Nick just got to be throwing his cock in here?
Because it's alluding. Look, they're alluding to stuff. So eggplant.
Okay, fine.
Great for our audio podcast where nobody's seeing this shit.
Burger emoji, eggplant emoji, squirting emoji.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Sweat drops. Sure it is, Discord. Sure it is. All right. Serious.
You mean Gilly?
Gilly just did it.
Oh, wait, no, it is me.
went.
It is me. Yep.
Wow, pay attention, sir.
I know, right? something ADHD. Anyway, Mr. Krabs, thank you for the $4.99. Arg, Nick, Cirrus, Gillian, Wayne, me boys. Me friend Santa Robotniks wants to know what you want for Christmas, or you're fired. I don't think pirates can fire you. I think you just die.
I've thrown some stuff out there like, hey, what do you want? I was like, I mean, if you're gonna get anything, I will take either like game-wise Crisis Core or God of War, or like maybe another micro SD card, I guess.
I would if you ever find a copy of Arc Rise Fantasia for the Wii, I would yes. That.
I would love God of War Ragnarok or either of the River City Girls games. But I think more than anything right now, I just really want like a crate to keep my vinyls in, because I've got a lot of fucking vinyls now.
I get that.
Okay.
What about
Wayne?
What about Gilly? You didn't tell us.
Oh, we
what
don't care
else
about
for
Gilly.
Christmas. No, come sit on Saint Nick's lap, everybody. Come on. What do you want for Christmas?
What do I want for Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there just one thing you need?
Oh God.
You know what? I think we all need a little Jesus. You can do the basic bitch family gift of money.
Well, what I did want for Christmas was to renew my car's registration, but I just did that yesterday. So,
Hey.
Congratulations.
What about your car's extended warranty?
oh, please stop.
Die. We'd like to talk to you about die.
Later.
Okay.
All right. So
I want
Yeah.
a video game.
Oh, okay. Cool. Superman 64 on your doorstep.
Thank you.
I'd legitimately be happy with that.
I know.
Gilly,
you would.
has my package arrived yet?
Oh yeah, I meant to message you.
Okay, thank God.
I've just been running around for like 2 days.
Oh, that's fine. I just wanted to be sure. Okay.
I'm a little sad that you never got the game I sent you, because there was
Yeah.
a note in it, and I'm a little afraid of whoever's going to find out and eventually open it.
Someone's just gonna get turbo
just gonna-
for the.
They're gonna open somebody else's mail, which is a federal offense, by the way, and then they're gonna open it and find a note with my avatar saying, "Hey Gilly, you want to fuck my wife?"
Guys,
I wasn't ready
Guys.
for that.
brain got a poop.
All right. Where are we at?
No nugget look at the brain.
I don't know whose turn it is.
I don't know.
Ozjam H, it's Nick's turn. $5.
You sound like Patrick, Gilly. But as I said before, Merry Christmas and have a reading Archie Sonic Turtle riding a Powerboard New Year. You bet it, baby.
For words.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right.
Yelly.
Where
You got
am I?
You got Mr.
Mr.
Krabs.
Krabs.
Mr. Krabs of $1.99. Anyway, have a great Xmas, you 5 goofy little goblins.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Mer Crisis.
Merry Crisis.
Merry Crisis City.
Do. Sonic Fan 1661. Thank you for the $2. Wait, why are we sitting on Dad's lap? Oh no. Yeah, he just wants to play the finger game with us. That's all.
That's what I'm going to retire to. That's what my life's going to lead to. I'm just going to be a mall Santa.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, baby. Just have little children fart on you all day. I was at the mall yesterday and just saw some, everybody lined up to just sit on an old man's lap. And it's just weird fucking traditions we have, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway.
It's just weird. A hedgehog that runs fast. We all accept it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Well, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for today. Thank you, everyone, for the super chats. Thank you for hanging out with us. And maybe we'll be back next week. I don't know if we're taking a week off or not for New Year's stuff or holidays.
I know that we won't be on 2 weeks from now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So we should probably announce that right now because I keep forgetting it's as close as it is.
Yep.
But everybody here in this room right now, because Pup died, is going to be at MagFest. That's going to be from the 4th through... Well, I mean, I'm arriving there the 4th. But that's, I believe, opening day is the 5th, and that lasts until the 8th. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, it'll be that Wednesday through Sunday, and I'm very excited.
It's going to be my first time in Washington, D.C. Like, I'm arriving there late Wednesday night. I might just go visit the Capitol and all that stuff first, just because I've never seen that in person. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
Do it.
But guys, I'm curious to know what you're all up to in terms of your channels and all that garbage. Gilly, what are you doing?
I didn't start the next video yet.
Yeah, but you haven't been on since your last video.
Oh, well, I dropped the Tony Hawk video.
Yeah, it's good.
It's really good.
Thank you.
I made a surprise cameo, which I
In
always
fact,
love.
it was so good that I feel like people in here should go watch it.
Go watch the
Oh,
video.
yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
thing they should do.
They should.
I think they should do that though.
Do.
Do stupid motherfucker.
I forgot about the mountain.
Dude.
That's so funny.
I needed someone else to pick it up.
All right.
Anyway,
Cirrus.
Jesus. Same as last bit. I've got my Frontiers review waiting for editing as soon as I can afford that being edited. And then I've got my What If Shadow Died video, which is waiting on assets from Smacko and voice lines from my friend Renita. And then past that, that's really all I've got major going on right now.
Wayne.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit of a dry spell on my channel for a bit. I wish I could be putting more time into it, but I've been working some pretty exhausting hours over at work just because it's the holidays and retail is stressful enough already, but without, Christmas people. I'm going to be getting back on top of that, but I do also have a couple of new things I'm trying to do for the channel too, so I might have a small, little thingy going up before the new year. I'll have to see if that works out. And then I'm also going to be experimenting with, just because they really want you to do this, but I'm going to be seeing if there's any way that I can naturally start incorporating shorts onto my channel. So we'll find a way to do that.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, over on my
What are
channel,
you working on, Nick?
I'm going to be editing like a madman, but if all goes well, I will have a video on Christmas just showing how Sega celebrates Christmas. Just showing a bunch of games that Sega made that has Christmas in it, and it's a weird time. It was a surprisingly weird time. So I hope you all stick around for that. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, guys. But that's gonna do it. Thank you for hanging out with us today on Sunset City, and we will catch you next week. Oh man, why are there so many buttons to stop streaming?
Because we're streaming on YouTube, and YouTube's a dumb platform for